Welcome to This Day in Baseball and our Daily Rewind. My name's Tom Hannon and I'm your host. Today we're bringing you the radio call from the Detroit Tigers vs. St. Louis Cardinals Game 2 of the 1934 World Series. There were 43,451 in attendance at Navin Field. Preacher Rowe, today's Tiger starter, will try to even the series at a game apiece going against Bill Hallahan, Frankie Frisch, and Joe Ducky Medwick. I hope you enjoy the game, folks. Before I let you listen to the call, I'm going to give you some trivia to think about. This player is the first of only two St. Louis Cardinal pitchers to lead the National League in ERA twice. Who am I? And now, out to the ballpark.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Fusing speaking from Navin Field, Detroit, where the St. Louis Cardinals and Detroit Tigers are battling for the World Championship. The play-by-play descriptions of all the World Series games are brought to you with the compliments of the Ford Motor Company, Mr. Henry Ford, Mr. Edgo Ford, and your local Ford dealer, producers and distributors of Ford and Lincoln cars and Ford trucks. The sponsors will be amply repaid if you get enjoyment from these broadcasts. In order that you might hear the play-by-play description of this game in its entirety, the Paris Medicine Company has kindly omitted its regular afternoon broadcast. In behalf of the Ford Motor Company and the Columbia Network, we wish to thank this company for its courtesy. That brings for today's game, ladies and gentlemen, for the Tigers, Linwood, Schoolboy, Rowe, and Gordon Stanley, Mickey Cochrane. For the Cardinals, Wild Bill Hallahan and Bill DeLancey. The series is heightened in interest even today by that exciting finish of the National League race. And daubed with the painter's colors by the wholehearted way the American fandom has taken to the individual brilliance of the three picturesque and highly publicized pictures, the Deans and Schoolboy Rowe. One of the Deans delivered yesterday and gave the Cards the first victory they have ever had in opening a warfare on the title of world champion. Despite the indifferent start, the series still promises to be one of the most dramatic World Series in the long chronicle of the game. This great festival of baseball, as it now has come down to us, gave us an uproarious crowd of almost 50,000 people yesterday, who greeted all they could greet with cheers of friendly boos. If it wasn't Babe Ruth getting a mighty roar of approval from Mr. Pan in the bleachers, it was the sporadic booing that greeted Dizzy Dean when he seemed certain to fling a straight of poorly controlled balls toward the plate. Local lights received shouts and huzzas for each thing they contributed to the afternoon's gaiety. And Al Shack and his familiar antics were applauded loud and long. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we present to you, just prior to the play-by-play report, Pat Flanagan of Chicago. Here he is.
How about you, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to let you take a look at the Tigers as they line up in the outfield and infield, the way you would see it if you were here. Left field, Goslin. Center field, White. Right field, Fox. At third base, Owen. Shortstop, Legel. Second base, Geringer. First base, Greenberg. The pitcher is Rowe. The catcher, Cochrane. The umpires stand at the plate. Geisel, American League umpire on first base. Reardon, National League umpire on second base. And Owen on third base. Now, there may be a little bit of a mix-up there. Some sort of a play comes up at third base this afternoon. Because Owen is playing third base and Owen is umpiring third base. Now, we shall attempt to call the umpire by his nickname of Crick. Crick Owen got his name when he was umpiring in the Western League when a fan threw a brick and hit him on the head. Not because he happened to have quick-colored hair, but that is the reason for the nickname. They called him Crick ever since that day. When the Cardinals take the outfield, you'll find Bedwick in left, Orsatti in center, Rothrock in right, Martin at third, DeRocher short, Frisch at second, Collins first, Lefty Hallahan pitching, and DeLancey doing the catching. Although Hallahan has only won 8 and lost 12, as compared to Rowe's 24 wins and 8 losses, in the last 3 weeks, Hallahan has commenced to get the fastball and the curve back again. And with that curve snapping, if it hits the corners right, he's called Sweet William. But when he commences to miss the corners, then they call him Wild Bill. Joseph Medwick is called Mickey Medwick by his teammates, and occasionally you see his name written as Ducky Wucky Medwick. Now, Mickey Medwick does not like the name Ducky Wucky. It was given to him because he sponsored something down in the South one time, and they got the name Ducky Wucky for him. However, if you want to get along with Mickey Medwick, speak of him as Mickey. He stands 5'10", weighs 180. He's a right-hand hitter. Pennsylvania. Some hit 35 home runs this year and batted 333 during the season. 35 home runs are quite a number. He bats either right or left-handed, but he throws left-handed. That's the first baseman. Bill DeLancey, the kid catcher who came in this year to the Cardinals, stopped playing in his World Series. All right, we're going to stand up, ladies and gentlemen, for the playing of the national anthem. Schoolboy Rowe. Schoolboy hits his belt, shrugs his shoulders a couple of times, wants to loosen up all that clothing around his shoulders to have a free swing of that ball. Here comes the pitch to Frisch. Frankie takes a smack at it, down past the third base line. Third baseman knocks it down. Frankie is safe on first base. The ball hitting against the third baseman, Owen's glove, as he made a dive for it. He went for a hit because it was too hard a chance for any man to handle. He had the dive to his right, toward the left field line. He was standing just back at third base, putting Frankie Frisch over on first base and bringing Ledwick to bat. Mickey Ledwick, a right-hand hitter. Number 7 Ernie's back, stands close to the inside line, deep back. In the batsman's box and waits for Rowe to pitch the first. He stretches, glances toward first to keep the runner on first, very close to the bag. Kick to the first and down, and Ledwick shoots the third ball. Missing it. Ball, strike one. There's a good pitch, strike one. Ledwick is a fellow who turned as a slugger type, a free swinger, batting in the fourth spot or cleanup. Frisch over on first base, 2 down. Ledwick has strike one. Here's the pitch. He takes it. Cochrane will drop the ground off to the left of the plate after striking Cochrane's back. Schoolboy has 2 strikes from Ledwick. He's what they call out ahead of him now. He's out ahead of the hitter. Has a chance to put down a couple of waste balls to see if he might get him to go for the bat hook or something of that sort. But of course, that is the baseball player. It's hard to finish. He wants the boy to go to the batter if he can. Put him in very close and high. Ledwick faded away from that one. Dropped down, slapped his back in the batsman's box. Trying to make him go for an inside ball for one of those bat-handle hits or a swing under. He'll get his next time from Cochrane. Let him pitch it in. See if he pitches to Ledwick. Here he comes. Ledwick takes it to the right. Swing falls to right. Right down the middle. Anatomy then. For the Cardinals. No run. 1 hit. No errors. were committed, and the Cards had one man left in the base. So ends the first half of the first inning. The St. Louis Cardinals take the field now, and we have lefty Hallahan being caught by DeLancey. That battery going out to face White, the center fielder, Cochrane, the catcher, Gehringer, the second baseman, as the first three men to face them in this game. Right now we notice that Medwick is running in, apparently to pick up a glove that someone has left over there along the short left field line. He tossed it off to one side and starts back out for his playing position in left field. He's getting quite a boo from the crowd out there because he picked the glove up and should have tossed it to one side. He gave it quite a heave over toward the edge of the grandstand. Ball is being thrown around the infield. Infielders Martin, DeRocher, and Frisch hooping the ball over to Collins, as they call it. Each infielder is supposed to have an imaginary 12-foot hoop up there through which he throws the ball at the first baseman. No matter from what angle he throws the ball, if it passes through that imaginary hoop that he hangs there himself, it's supposed to hit in somewhere near the territory of the first baseman. Warming up their arm out there, taking a few shots at first base. Now we have everything ready. Hallahan has had his warm-up throws at DeLancey. The ball has been thrown to Frisch, tossed to DeRocher, and given to Pepper Martin, who is rolling the ball around with the tips of his fingers. Now tosses it up to Hallahan, which is a little right with the Cardinals. Always from Martin to the pitcher. Jojo White steps in there for his turn at bat. Left-hander stands practically in the center of the box as far as the distance from front to back is concerned, but rather close to the inside corner, which makes it rather hard for him to pitch to him. White's waiting for the ball to be pitched. Ball goes down toward first base. It's taken by the first baseman, thrown to Hallahan, and it's out from Collins to Hallahan. White out from Collins, first baseman to Hallahan, pitcher. One man down, Cochrane coming to bat. Mickey Cochrane coming to bat, and you will hear the crowd roar as he comes up here. Mickey deserves the hand for several reasons. First, he's a great ball player. Second, he's a fine manager. And third, he has brought baseball back to Detroit. Cochrane stands deep in the box, close to the inside line, ready for the first ball to be pitched down by Hallahan. Lefty gets his sign, swings into the windup. One man down, nobody on. First ball pitched is high, way up high. Over Cochrane's head. DeLancey reaches high for it and gets it. Ball one. Ball one to Mickey Cochrane. Third baseman Pepper Martin is having a lot of trouble hitting his glove this afternoon. Seems to be very nervous and jittery, but that simply is the fact that he is the wild-eyed boy, Mr. Pepper Martin. Here's the next pitch to Cochrane. Hits the bounder toward first base. It's taken on the hop. First baseman Collins gets it, takes 2 steps to his left, jumps from the bag ahead of Cochrane for the second out. Unassisted to the first baseman. 2 men down, nobody on, and Gehringer, the second baseman, coming to hit. Gehringer, another left-hand hitter, steps down there almost as if a man was going to tee off. He got just the proper distance away from the plate, but dropping the bat to the corner of the plate, stepped back until he had his feet in the right spot, and now he's waiting for the first slant to come down here from the arm of lefty Bill Hallahan. Lefty gets his sign, 2 men down, nobody on. Neither team has scored, and we're playing in the last of the first. First ball pitched down, hooks the corner for strike 1 called. Just about hit high. Hallahan takes another sign to DeLancey. Pepper Martin swinging up toward third base. Puts his glove on now just before the ball is delivered. Here's the pitch. There goes the bounder over toward the first baseman. Hallahan goes over to cover first. A nice throw, and he stops it. That's the ball at first base and a throw from Collins. But let you see how the official score it. It's an error. It goes for an error. I think Hallahan is charged with the error, or discredited, as some people say, with an error. Gehringer is safe on first base on an error, which we shall give to lefty Hallahan, putting a man safe on first and bringing Greenberg, the cleanup man, to bat. Greenberg, a right-hand hitter, up against Hallahan, a left-hand pitcher. Hallahan going on the dead run, caught the ball in the heel of his glove, drops to the ground. A man on first base. Greenberg steps into the batsman's box, takes a few preliminary swings at the bat. Hallahan, with a man over on first base, has no wind-up. Man on first, 2 down, no score by either team last half of the first in the second game of the World Series being played here in Detroit. Hallahan stretches, the man on first will not lead too far with a left-hand pitcher up there. He puts the first one past Greenberg for a strike. Left-hander facing over towards first as he gets ready to swing into that pitch. Naturally, the man on first is not going to lead too far. Pepper Martin playing back deep with this right-hand hitter up there. Greenberg standing waiting for it. Bats up off his shoulder, down over the arm. Takes a stop at the first one. Martin gets it, makes the throw to first base, and he's off by a step. Just a high bounder for which Martin had to wait. He got the ball and threw it to first base. Collins getting the ball just a step ahead of Greenberg, who was on his way down there like a shot out of a gun. So we have no runs, no hits. There was 1 error, and the Detroit Tigers had 1 man left for the bases. For Detroit, no runs, no hits, 1 error charged against the Cardinals, 1 left for the bases.
These World Series broadcasts are brought to you through the courtesy of the makers of the Ford D8.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ripper Collins, the switch batter, should be the first man to come up here and face this pitcher, Mr. Lynn Rowe. Collins first, DeLancey, the catcher, be the next man to face him, and he's followed by Ernie Orsatti. Collins steps into the batsman's box, stands way back deep. Being a left-hand hitter, his left foot is on the back line. His right foot is fairly well in toward the center of the batsman's box, but he'll step forward to the pitch. First ball pitch to Collins, he takes a cut of it. Pitch at that ball and misses it for strike one. One strike to Collins, and Rowe gets his sign from Cochrane for another pitch. Collins leaning forward, snapping the bat off his shoulder. Rowe winds it up, pitches it down, and Collins takes it to the ball, too close to the hip. Ball one and strike one to Rip Collins, the boy who has hit 35 home runs this year for the Cardinals. Here it comes. Collins takes a smack at it, knocks it out towards center, way back deep. Center fielder's going back after it and takes it nicely for the out. Very nice catch on the part of White, who ran over the plate to win first and then backed up on the dead run and nailed that ball for the first out. Might inform you on that last throw when Pepper Martin had to wait so long for the ball to come down. When he threw the runner Greenberg out at first base, he apparently hurt his arm and had taken care of it down there in the first base dugout. At the present time, Mr. DeLancey, a left-hand hitter, catcher, is up there facing Rowe. Rowe has given one hit, and that was to Frisch in the first inning, after which Medwick struck out. DeLancey takes the first one wide at the belt. Ball one pitch to DeLancey. One man down, no one on, and Rowe taking his sign from Cochrane. Swings into that windup. He balances, kicks high. Here's the pitch. DeLancey slaps one back toward him. Rowe reaches for it. The second baseman misses it. Runner goes over to first base, and we'll see how that one is scored. Rowe reached for the ball. Gerald came in after it. The ball took a bad hop apparently. And it's called as an error. An error goes for a hit. The official scorer gives it for a hit on account of that bad bounce that it took over there. When it slapped against the side of Geringer's leg as he was going toward his right or reached toward his left to stop the ball. Orsatti comes to bat, another left-hand hitter. Orsatti coming to bat. One man on, one man down. First ball pitch to Orsatti. He knocks one toward left. It's what they call a blooper. Left fielder can't get to it. There's a runner coming around second. Going down towards third. Gosling gets the ball. It misses it. DeLancey might score. The runner comes into third base, and he's safe at third base on a throw from Gosling over to Owen, who had to take the ball wide out in foul territory and make a dive for this runner, Mr. Orsatti, who is credited with a triple, I believe. He's given a triple. Orsatti tripled out in the left field corner, scoring DeLancey ahead of him. He came into third base on a very close decision at the third base, but he's called safe there because it was a hook slide that carried him in as Owen made a grab for the ball out in foul territory and made a dive where the runner should have come in. Mr. Orsatti swung into a hook slide, hurt his leg again. He has a bad leg anyway, but he was called safe at that point. And ladies and gentlemen, the third hit off Rowe, and one score has come in for the Cardinals. The Cardinals are now leading by a score of 1-0 in the first half of the second inning, with a man on third, one man down, and DeRocher, the shortstop, coming to bat. DeRocher, a right-hand hitter, is the boy who's facing Linwood Rowe. Rowe gets his sign from Cochrane to pitch that ball down to DeRocher. He was waiting for it. How many spoken out by his teammates is Lippy DeRocher? He knows all the answers. There's a foul ball bounding back, taken on the first bounce by Cochrane, and thrown right back out to Rowe for strike one, being a foul bounce. One strike to DeRocher. Infield drawn up for a play at the plate. They're not playing halfway. They're drawn almost all the way up. Except the third baseman is playing fairly deep. DeRocher hits a high fly toward the infield. Greenberg is going back for it, says he can take it over near first, and he does. Gets the ball for the out in third territory. DeRocher out on a fly ball to Mr. Greenberg, the first baseman, bringing to bat lefty Bill Hallahan. Lefty Hallahan, the pitcher, will be the next man up. A man on third, one run in, two men down, and the Cards leading 1-0 in the first and the second. We spoke at the start of the game about this ball being hit toward left field. We thrown toward the foul line. That's exactly what happened to that ball that Orsatti hit. Rowe has his sign from Cochrane. Here it comes. And it goes out toward right field. The right fielder's over after it. He gets the ball after a nice running back over near the foul line. Hallahan out a line drive to the right fielder, who made a very nice running catch. In that second inning, for the St. Louis Cardinals, one run, two hits, there were no errors, and the Cardinals had one man left at the base. For the Cardinals marked down one run, credited them with two hits, there were no errors performed by the Tigers, and we have one man left at the base. Starting the last half of the second inning, with the Cardinals in the lead by one run. First man coming to bat to face lefty Hanavan will be Goose Gosling, the left fielder. He's faced by Rogel, who is the only switch batter on the Detroit Tigers, and then in turn he's faced by Owen. We have Gosling, Rogel, and Owen as the first three men to come up and face lefty Hanavan. warming up here, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we have time for station identification. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
This is the WBBM Air Theater, regulating Chicago.
Back at the ballgame, ladies and gentlemen. Hallahan's last warm-up throw was dropped by DeLancey. He picked it up and threw it out of the game because that is sometimes considered dropping your luck. So we have Gerald coming to bat. A new ball has been pitched to Hallahan. We're starting the second inning, last of the second, with the St. Louis Cardinals ahead by a score of 1-0. Bruce Goslin, left-hand hitter, waiting for lefty Hallahan to pitch to him. Hallahan has his sign. Like the first is fading toward his left as if they're going to pitch to this ball to make him hit toward right field. The first ball comes right down the groove for strike one. A little bit of a hook on it, but lifts it in there. One strike to Goslin. Hallahan accepts the next time from DeLancey. Goslin's waiting for it. Hallahan winds it up. Here's the pitch. Fastball pitch down there. It goes out near second base. Jackie first gets it. Makes a pass over towards first base. But Goslin pulls up on first base with a single. He set it. Out behind second with a high bounder. Goslin safe with a single. The first hit off Hallahan in this game. Puts the man on first with a tying run. That brings Rowe, the shortstop, to bat. Markey with and says a few words to Hallahan. Gerald steps into the batsman's box, batting right-handed against left-hand pitching. Markey is still standing up there talking to Hallahan. Lefty swings toward the mound. There's a man on first base. No chance for a wind-up. You can't put all of your speed and stuff on the ball. And a man gets on base. Martin staying up close to third base. Watching for a sacrifice. Here's the pitch. Gerald takes a wallop at it, knocks it high in the air. It's a foul ball. The catcher's back after it, and he takes it for the out. We have DeLancey getting the ball for the out. Gerald out on a foul to DeLancey. Catcher for the St. Louis Cardinals. That brings Owen, the first baseman, to bat. Owen coming to bat. Steps into the right-hand hitter's box. Hallahan goes over to pitch to him and has to bear down to that tying run on first base. Goslin's on first due to a single. The only hit given so far this afternoon by Hallahan. Owen is at bat. Will get out on the foul. Watching for that first pitch to come in. Owen's waiting for it. Here it comes. Swings at the first one. Strike one. Hallahan puts the fast one down there. Owen steps in and waits for the next pitch. Lefty Hallahan, being a left-hand pitcher, has to look towards first base, right straight ahead, and keep his eye on Goslin. Swings to the position, stretches, brings his arms back to the pitching position, whirls and throws the ball down here, and it's taken for strike two ball in the outside corner. Fast curve ball breaking in and hooking the outside corner to a right-hand hitter. Ball like that starts down wide and then hooks in and hits that corner. I saw him raise his right hand for what I thought was strike two, but the scoreboard says ball one and strike one. To me, it's still strike two. We shall see in just a moment. Hallahan gets his sign. Here's the pitch. Strike called. You're out. It was strike two. Strike three. Owen stands there and takes strike three. Hallahan getting his first strikeout of the afternoon. Now, ladies and gentlemen, evens up the strikeouts. Bedwick having struck out in the first inning. Next man coming to bat is Fox, the right fielder. Fox, the right fielder, right-hand hitter. Stepping up there to face lefty Hallahan, a left-hand pitcher. The first man in this inning, Goslin, got on base by a single with a tying run. Gerald fouled out to the catcher. Owen looks at strike three. Now Fox is up there for his turn to see what he can do. The score is 1-0 in favor of the St. Louis Cardinals. We're playing the last half of the second. Pitcher's ready to pitch. Fox hits one high in the air. The catcher is back after it. The wind blowing it away from him. But right in front of the stands, he steps over and gets the ball for the out. Fox out on a foul to the catcher. In that inning, which is the last half of the second, we get the trace. No runs, one hit, no errors for the Cardinals, one left on bases. To repeat, for the Tigers, no runs, one hit, no errors for the Cardinals, one man left on bases.
The Ford Motor Company is sending you the broadcast of the World Series game.
Back in the ball game, start in the third inning, with the St. Louis Cardinals leading by a score of 1-0, and the first man coming to bat will be the leadoff man, Pepper Martin, who went out on a fly to the center fielder on the first ball pitched to him today by Schoolboy Rowe. We're starting the third inning with Pepper Martin, Rothrock, and Frisch, the men coming to bat. Pepper Martin, the right-hand hitter, stepped up there to watch Schoolboy Rowe put that first ball down to him. Fine brand of baseball has been displayed so far this afternoon. Over on first base, Mr. Greenberg says, that old boy, let's go. Come on. Here's the first pitch to Martin. Martin takes it for a ball, too close to the belt, stepping back away from the fast one. Ball one, pitch to Pepper Martin. Here's the next pitch. The ball is too low and is dropped for the catcher. Ready for that next ball to be pitched down as soon as Rowe gets it. Takes the ball, lifts it over thoroughly, rubs it up. Ready to take his stand now. Watches up there with a 2-0 count. Here's the pitch. Takes a smack at it, knocks it back towards second. It goes for a hit. Pepper Martin gets hit number 4 off Schoolboy Rowe. He falls down after rounding first. It gets up and goes back over to first base with a single he sped it. Man safe on first in the third inning is Pepper Martin. Right now we have Rothrock coming to bat. Man over on first base, Rothrock at bat. Infield's playing up close for a play at the plate. Not play at the plate, but playing up here for whoop or throw over to first base, and they almost got Pepper. They're playing in very close at first and third. Watching for that old sacrifice. The ball is laid down for the bunt. Rowe gets the ball over to first base in time for the out. A sacrifice by Rothrock. He's out from pitcher over to first base, or from Rowe to Greenberg. Sacrifice bunt is laid down, putting Martin on second base in scoring position. Frankie Frisch coming to bat. Switch batter. Batted 306 during the field. Steps in, hits his belt a bit, looks over towards second base. Ready for the first ball to be pitched to him. He fouls it off to the left of the plate for strike one. A foul ball to the left of the plate. All right, we're ready to go. Rowe has looked the new ball over. Martin's on second base, taking his lead. Rogel is sneaking in back of him. Rowe is watching it cautiously, but he's ready to pitch to Frisch. Here's the pitch. Frisch hits one out toward left center. Center fielder goes after it, takes it to the out, makes a quick throw to third base to keep Martin from going down to third. And a beautiful throw he made, too. Frisch out on the side of the center fielder, Mr. White. That puts 2 men down with a man on second. Rowe pitching very cautiously with that boy over there because he knows he's fast. He struck out his first time at bat. The fellow who's coming in now is a right-hand hitter. He's the fellow we always speak of when we see him batting as the man who winds up with the pitcher. Because if the pitcher throws his foot up in the air, Ledrick throws his up. And he brings it down and takes a crack at that ball. Martin's on second with 2 down. Watch for the pitch. Ledrick smacks one for a hit out toward left field. Goslin's coming in to play it fast. Pepper Martin's on his way down toward home plate. The ball comes in wide. It's taken to the catcher. And on the throw to the plate, Ledrick goes over to second. We give Ledrick a single, moving into second and a throw to the plate. Martin coming in to score from second base with run number 2 for the Cardinals. It also goes as hit number 5 off Rowe. Collins. Will be the next man to bat. Collins started as the first man up in the second inning and flied after the center fielder right. He comes up now for his second time at bat. He's a switch batter, batting left-handed against right-hand pitching. Rowe gets his side to pitch this ball down. There are 2 men down, 1 run in this inning. 2-0 in favor of St. Louis. Collins at bat with Ledrick on second. There's your ball game in a nutshell. First ball, fifth field is fouled off to the left of the plate. Collins is a 3-33 hitter this year. 3-3-3 all the way through. Collins waiting for it, standing back deep in the box. Schoolboy Rowe takes his sign from Cochrane, approaches the mound, keeping his eye now on that runner on second, Ledrick. Watching with the pitch to Collins. 1 strike to the hitter. Collins drives one out toward left field. It looks like it's going for a single. Left fielder gets it. Runner starts in toward home plate. The ball is thrown in out of the plate as he comes in. The throw is made from Gosling down to Cochrane. And out of the fifth to score on that, we have to give Collins a single for his hit. Ledrick out of the plate on a throw from Gosling down to the manager, Mr. Mickey Cochrane, who played it nicely at the plate. But as Ledrick came in, he hit the ground sort of sitting down, bounced up with his knee against Mr. Cochrane's chest and knocked Mickey down. Mickey fell off to one side, sort of went to his hands and knees, and apparently he is injured down there, and they're working on it to see what's happened. We'll see if Mickey was injured. We certainly hope not, because he's a great fellow and a fine ball player. Well, we're waiting to see about that right now. We're ready to give you this thing. In the third inning, 1 run, 3 hits, there were no errors, and there was 1 man left for the bases. For the Cardinals, 1 run, credit them with 3 hits, no errors were committed to the Tigers, and the Cardinals had 1 man left for the bases. Now we start to go into what is called the last half of the third inning, with the Cardinals leading by a score of 2-0. And the first hitter to come to bat will be Schoolboy Rowe. Rowe, by the way, is an exceptional pitcher, not only in the fact that he's a great pitcher on the mound, but during the year, Mr. Rowe is a .314 batter. He's followed by White, who batted .315 for the year, and he in turn is followed by Cochrane, who batted .325. Hallahan is out having a few warm-up throws. Schoolboy gets a nice hand as he comes up to hit. Everything will be taken care of in just a minute. The last ball has been thrown from the infield into the first base dugout. The Cardinals are on the field. They're out there to do all they can to protect Hallahan's 2-run lead that he has at the present time. The first man coming to bat will be Schoolboy Rowe, a fellow who steps into the batsman's box as a right-hand hitter and waits for lefty Hallahan to pitch down to him. Hallahan takes his sign to DeLancey. Second baseman Frankie Fish is turning back in the grass for this boy. Just back even with the grass, watching for the ball to be pitched. Hallahan puts it down, taken for strike one called. Hallahan hit the fastball in that time for strike one to Rowe. Goes up to the peak of his cap, gets back and gets set. Swinging the bat to his shoulder, leaning forward. Cuts down nicely from his shoulder with the bat as he stands there waiting for Hallahan to pitch it. The wind-up start. Here's the pitch. Makes the cut of that one. A low ball in the inside corner and missed it for strike two. 2 strikes to Rowe. Hallahan swings up under the mound and takes his next sign. Trying to get rid of his swing at the position and throw it down there. Nothing can do to the hitter. Here's the pitch. Rowe swings at that one. Reach for a sweeping curve that time that hooked him under his bat handle for strike 3. You're out, which gives Hallahan his second strikeout of the afternoon. The other one having been Owen, the third baseman. Now we find White coming to bat. Jojo White, a .315 batter during the season. Fellow who stands in close to the inside of the plate. First ball pitch hits the dirt off to the left of the plate, bounds up into the catcher's hand for ball one, too low. Overhand curveball that quickly got away from this boy, Mr. Hallahan. Hallahan takes his next sign. It's ball one to White, one man down, nobody on, and St. Louis leading by a score of 2-0 as we have just started the last half of the third. The ball is hit, slow bounder over towards Frankie Fish. Frankie gets it in the hot pitch at the first base. The runner's out for a step. Looks like he hurt his ankle as he pushed it there on first base. He had to jump down the right field line 2 or 3 times on his right foot. White is out at first base on a throw from Frankie Fish over to Rip Collins. That makes 2 men down and brings Mickey Cochrane to bat. Another left-hand hitter, hit .325 for the season. Mickey coming to bat. A nice hand for Mickey as he comes out, and you well deserve it. Crowd is just finished the hand clapping and the roaring, waiting for Mickey to step up, and he steps around, comes into the left-hand hitter's box, taps the plate, and gets ready for Hallahan to pitch to him. 2 men down in the third inning, and Cochrane at bat. 2 left-handers facing each other. Right fielder ducks back a little bit, but the left fielder goes back quite a bit farther than he has been playing. Hallahan finally winds up, pitches the ball down. It's too high, comes right past his nose. DeLancey reached up and yanked that one down, but it's a ball one count to Cochrane. Mickey's down there waiting for it. Hallahan winds it up. He's balanced. Here it comes. Takes that one, call for the ball, although DeLancey tried to sell the idea of a strike to Mr. Clem by holding up one finger in the right hand. Ball 2. Just missed that corner that time. Hallahan finally starting his windup. Here's the pitch. That one's called for ball 3. A little bit too high that time. Ball 3. So we have the 3-0 count on Cochrane. The second man this afternoon has had that count on Hallahan's pitching. Hallahan starts his windup at the 3-0 count. Mickey will probably take the automatic strike, which he does. Ball's been pitched down for the automatic strike with a 3-0 count. It's now 3-1. Ball 3, strike 1, 2 down, and no one on. Last of the third. Hallahan taking his next time. Cochrane's waiting for it. Here's the pitch. Takes it too low for ball 4, and Hallahan walks his first man. Mickey Cochrane walks. That brings Gerald off the bat. Gerald was safe in the first inning on first base on an error by Hallahan when he dropped the throw over at first. The man on first base, 2 men down. Gerald, a left-hand hitter coming to bat. A boy who pulled it out for .356 during the season. Gerald, a left-hand hitter, facing Hallahan, a left-hand pitcher. Man on first, ready to go. Just as soon as things are right, he takes his lead off first. Hallahan's walking in. Here's the pitch. The ball is hit out for right center. Runner is coming from first and going to third. Plate back feet. We have a man over on first and a man on third. Cochrane walks, they went to third. On going is hit. Priest has gone in and spoken to Hallahan. Words of encouragement. Marcy has gone in and spoken to him. And now Hallahan is in the real hole this time. The first batter he's been in so far this afternoon. The tying runs are on the bases. A man on first, a man on third is Greenberg. A 340 hitter, a right-hand hitter comes to bat. Mickey Cochrane has gone in and spoken to Hallahan. Words of encouragement. Marcy has gone in and spoken to him. And now Hallahan is in the real hole this time. The first batter he's been in so far this afternoon. Greenberg down there waiting for it. Runners on first and third. First ball pitch is a slow one coming inside. Too close to a right-hand hitter. Ball one. Hallahan's ready to pitch again. Greenberg's watching for it. Hallahan taking his time. Finally swings into position. Watching, carrying over on first. Here's the pitch. That one's fell for the ball too high. Ball too high to Greenberg. St. Louis now is leading 2-0. You Detroit Tiger fans up here are cheering for a rally that'll bring their team right in there. Hallahan has been pitching cautiously all the way through. 2 outs and a walk and a single. Cochrane going to third. Carrying around first with Greenberg at bat now. Ball 2-0 strike. Ready for the pitch. Here's the pitch. Taken for the strike. Ball in the outside corner of the shoulders. Just below the shoulders for the strike. Ball 2 strike one. A fast breaking overhand curveball. Greenberg's watching for another one. Hallahan gets his sign. Mickey Cochrane's on third, ready to take his lead. Man on first base, Gehringer is starting to lead. Mickey still with his foot up against the bag. Now as Greenberg stands there, awaits the bat, and Hallahan does the pitch. Greenberg finally steps out. He steps back in again. Runner on first base goes back toward the bag. Now he steps out. Cochrane's getting ready to take his lead. He's beginning to lead. Hallahan's ready to pitch to Greenberg. 2-1. Here's the pitch. Strike 2 right down there on the outside corner. A third ball that hits away from the right-hand hitter. Ball 2 and strike 2 to Greenberg. 2-2 to the hitter. Hallahan attempted to pitch himself out of the hole. The man on first and third. 2 men down. He has a 2-2 count all the way around here now. He catches. Not much activity going on except the pitcher and the catcher. Here comes the pitcher. He's swinging. Strike 3. You're out. 2 strikeouts in this inning. I think strikeout number 3 for Hallahan. In the third inning for Detroit. No run. 1 hit. No error. 2 left on bases. For Detroit. In the third inning. No run. 1 hit. No error. 2 left on bases.
And that's the end of the third inning of this World Series baseball game between the Cardinals and the Tigers being played here at Navin Field, Detroit. This broadcast comes to you with the compliments of the Ford Motor Company and the Ford Dealers of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're all ready to start the first half of the fourth inning. The first man to appear against the pitching of Mr. Rowe will be DeLancey. DeLancey, the first man to come in the second inning and cross the plate. He fingered, you know, over towards second base and scored from first in Osati's triple. While we're waiting for DeLancey, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we have time for station identification. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
This is the WBBM Air Theater, Wrigley Building, Chicago.
Back on the air of the ball game, ladies and gentlemen, the first man coming to bat will be DeLancey. DeLancey, the catcher for the Cardinals, a left-hand hitter facing Rowe. First ball pitch to him is a high fly out toward left field. Goslin's coming in for it, timing it, takes the ball for the out. DeLancey out on a fly to Goose Goslin in left field. That brings Orsatti, another left-hand hitter, to bat. It was his triple that scored DeLancey in the second with the first run of the game. The score right now is Cardinals 2, Detroit nothing. We're playing the first half of the fourth at 1 down and no one on. Rowe ready to pitch this ball out of Orsatti. Orsatti puts the bunt on the first base line. First baseman comes over and gets it right with the bag, takes a long step and gets there ahead of Orsatti. Orsatti out on an attempted bunt, being out with the first baseman unassisted. Very nicely played by Mr. Greenberg. We have 2 men down with DeLancey coming to bat. DeLancey went out as the third man up in the second inning on a high fly to Greenberg. DeLancey, right-hand hitter, steps in and waits for Rowe to pitch it. Here it comes. A lot of whip on it. They take it for strike 1. Called. 1 strike for DeLancey. ball toward left. It's taken in a scoop up of the third baseman who knocks it down, makes the throw to first base. After picking it up the second time, and the first over on first base claims the Rowe state because the first baseman was not touching the bag, but he was on the bag. And that was the completion of a beautiful play from Owen over to first baseman Greenberg. He knocked the ball down, ran towards second, picked it up, and threw the runner out of first. All with a sweeping motion. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on bases. The first inning in which the Cardinals had not had a hit. No runs, no hits, there were no errors, and no one left on the bases. We start the last half of the fourth inning now. The first man coming to bat will be Joslin. He's followed by Rowe, and he in turn by Owen, the first baseman. Hallahan going out to have his warm-up throw. And wind is still pouring in here from the east. So remember, anything that struck out toward center field is blown toward left. Anything hit dead toward left is blown toward the left field foul line. And anything hit toward the right fielder, the position this wind is blowing, is blown back toward the infield. It takes an awfully hard hit and a well-hit ball to get out there toward right field. Outfielders have their sunglasses adjusted. Mr. Goslin steps to the plate. He has had one of the two hits off the pitching of Hallahan this afternoon. As we start the last of the fourth, the score is still 2-0 in favor of the St. Louis Cardinals in the second game of the 1934 World Series. Hallahan pitches one down. The ball's a high bounder back at second. DeLancey makes a piece of a stop, gets the ball, rips it over to first base to Collins, and Goslin is out for a step. Well played by Mr. DeLancey, who ran back at second, put the ball to first in time for the out. It was a high bounder that went right over the top of Hallahan's head. He jumped for it but missed it. Rowe coming to bat. Rowe is first time up, fouled out to the catcher, DeLancey. Coming up now with one man down, no one on. Did the ball touch Hallahan's head? Hallahan gets an assist on it there. Give an assist on to Hallahan, another to DeLancey, and to put out to the first baseman. Hallahan has just hit strike one past Mr. Rowe. One man down. Strike one to the hitter. Hallahan winding it up. He's balanced. Here it comes. Makes that one fall a little bit too high and wide. Past the shoulders and out wide away from the hitter for a 1-1 count. Ball one and strike one to Rowe. Hallahan accepts the next time from DeLancey. Starts swinging into his windup. He balances, swings his right foot way around back of him and hits the ball down. There goes the ball towards center field. The hard hit ball. He started back. Now he's coming in the dead run and missed the ball. Didn't play the wind right. The runner starts towards second. There's a fast throw to second. And it looks to me like it might be scored by the official scorer in just a moment now. It goes for a two-base hit. A double out to center field puts the runner over there on second base. Hallahan getting up his third hit of the afternoon. And wind we spoke of just before this inning started. Orsatti ran back for that one. Saw the wind was catching it, turned and ran in as fast as he could. Fell, landed right in his face, and apparently the way he's acting out there, he has broken his sunglasses. At least he got a lot of dirt and glass in his face. Now he's slipping the sunglasses back on, so I guess they're not broken. He tells everyone he's all right. Pitcher's looking out to see how he is. All right, we have Mr. Rowe on second base at the double we've said it. Owen comes to bat. A man on second, one down, and Owen at bat. A very tight, well-played ball game so far this afternoon. Now for the fourth, with the Cardinals ahead 2-0. Hallahan ready to pitch this first ball down to Owen, a right-hand hitter. He reaches for it, swings the bat halfway around, brings it back up again, but it's called for the ball because he didn't make that half cut. Hallahan gets his sign to pitch another one down to Owen. Owen, a right-hand hitter, waiting for it. Hallahan stretches, looks towards second where Rowe is routine, takes his lead. Here's the pitch, the ball is hit to the bottom left side, Frankie first. Frankie gets it, throws the runner out at first, and the man on second, Rowe, advances to third in the infield out. Owen out, then second baseman Frankie first over to Collins. Rowe moving to third and Fox coming to bat. Two men down in the fourth with the man on first. That's the second man that the Tigers have had on third base this afternoon. He's over there and wants to be brought in. Right now we have Fox leaning forward, right at the hip. Standing close to the inside line, waiting for Hallahan to pitch to him. Fox, the right fielder, a .281 batter during the season, a right-hand hitter. Hallahan gets his sign. Ready to pitch that ball in. There's a man over on third base ready to come down if they get a chance. That's Rowe. Here's the pitch. First ball pitched in, comes in 2 cents to Fox. Straight and high, ball one. Hallahan drives it toward third just as he steps under the mound. Digs his full face into the pitching rubber and takes his sign from DeLancey. Pitching this ball to Fox. Here it comes. Ball one and strike one to Rowe. Hallahan accepts the next time from DeLancey. Starts swinging into his windup. He balances, swings his right foot way around back up and hits the ball down there. The ball towards center field. The hard hit ball. Orsatti started back. Now he's coming in the dead run and hits the ball. Didn't play the wind right. Another strike towards second. There's a fast throw to second. And it looks to me like it might be scored by the official scorer in just a moment now. It goes for a two-base hit. A double out to center field puts the runner over there on second base. Hallahan giving up his third hit of the afternoon. And wind we struck up just before this inning started. Orsatti ran back for that one. Saw the wind was catching it, turned and ran in as fast as he could. Fell, landed right in his face, and apparently from the way he's acting out there, he has broken his sunglasses. At least he got a lot of dirt and grass in his face. Now he's slipping the sunglasses back on, so I guess they're not broken. He tells everyone he's all right. Pitcher is looking out to see how he is. All right, we have Mr. Rowe on second base with the double he's set it. Owen comes to bat. A man on second, one down, and Owen at bat. A very tight, well-played game so far this afternoon. After the fourth, with the Cardinals ahead 2-0. Hallahan ready to pitch this first ball down to Owen, a right-hand hitter. He reaches for it, swings the bat partway around, brings it back up again, but it's called for the ball because he didn't make that half cut. Hallahan gets his sign to pitch another one down to Owen. Owen, a right-hand hitter, waiting for it. Hallahan stretches, looks towards second where Rowe is racing. He takes his lead. Here's the pitch. The ball is hit to the bottom of that first Frankie Fish. Frankie gets it, throws the runner out at first, and the man on second will kill it, bounces to third in the infield out. Owen out. From second baseman Frankie Fish over to Collins. Rowe moving to third and Fox coming to bat. Two men down in the fourth with the man on third. That's the second man that the Tigers have had on third base this afternoon. He's over there and wants to be brought in. Right now we have Fox leaning forward right at the hip. Standing close to the inside line, waiting for Hallahan to pitch to him. Fox, the right fielder, a .281 batter during the season, a right-hand hitter. Hallahan gets his sign. Ready to pitch that ball in. There's a man over on third base ready to come down if he get a chance. That's Rowe. Here's the pitch. First ball pitched in, comes in too close to Fox. Crimson high, ball one. Hallahan glances toward third just as he steps under the mound, digs his full face into the pitching rubber and takes his sign from DeLancey. Pitching this ball to Fox. Here it comes. There goes the ball back to him. It does go for the hit. And it looks like he's on his way towards second. It looks like the second extra base hit. It is, and the ball is missed to the second baseman. Was finally stopped by the first baseman Collins. The second throws it in. One run comes in for the Tigers. He has a score now 2-1 in favor of the St. Louis Cardinals. Gerald doubled. That's the third of the infield out by Owen. All this happening after Gosler went out. And we have Fox coming up and hitting a double on the left field foul line. He pulls up on second base, scoring Rowe ahead of him with the first run for the Tigers. Now we have Rowe coming to bat. The tying run on second base is 2 down. Some sort of an argument going on down here. They're talking to the umpire at third base about the ball cutting over the base. From St. Louis is telling that the ball should not have gone as a hit, but should have been called for the foul because it did not cut the base. They say that he didn't rate it fair or foul, so they didn't say it as strictly as usual. Nevick got no way from the umpires to whether it was fair or foul, so he threw the ball in very lackadaisically, got it to second base, but the runner was there ahead of it, and then the ball was loose down there, and finally picked up by Collins over near first, but the runner stayed on second. We have Fox on second base of the tying run. The score 2-1 in favor of the St. Louis Cardinals. And out of bat is Schoolboy Rowe. He will be up in just a moment as soon as the infielders for the St. Louis Cardinals take their places. One of those ball games that you read about in books. Start up on their toes every minute. The Cards made one run in the second, one in the third. Detroit has not scored into this inning. They're one run behind with that tying run in second, and Schoolboy Rowe coming to bat. Here's your drama in baseball. Hallahan pitching to his opponent, Schoolboy Rowe. Rowe batted .314 during the season. He's walking to that first pitch. He's a right-hand hitter facing a left-hand pitcher. Man on second base, Fox is taking a big lead. First ball pitch, and Rowe swings at strike one, missing a third ball under the hand of his bat. One strike to Rowe. One strike to the hitter. Hallahan's ready to take his next sign from DeLancey. Swings up, looks towards second. Here's the pitch. Rowe takes that one wide. Ball run and strike one. 1-1 to Rowe. This poor fox over there is just itching to go down to third base. He gets off balance on one foot, then gets his balance on the other one, and finally we find the shortstop sneaking in back of him, driving him back towards second. But he's commencing to increase his lead now. The next ball pitches way over the top of Rowe. Getting DeLancey has to jump off the ground to stop a high throw. Ball two and strike one. It looks to me as if the ball got away from Hallahan that time, but he pays no attention to the rosin bag. But he gets a high one. Ready for the ball to be pitched down. Hallahan takes his sign. The tying run is on second. The man down there, Fox, is taking a long lead. Here's the pitch. Rowe takes it for ball two. Ball three. Ball three wide. Ball three and strike one. 3-1 is the call to the hitter. We're playing the last half of the fourth with the tying run on second base and two down. Ball three and strike one to Schoolboy Rowe. Hallahan finally pitches the next one down. Rowe swings at a fast-breaking curveball on the inside corner at the knees for a 3-2 count. Ball three, strike two. Hallahan rubs the ball up a little bit, tosses it around in his glove, finally gets his sign to pitch to Rowe. Swings onto the mound, digs his left foot into that pitching rubber, glances towards second where Fox is roosting. Here's the pitch. Swings it, strike three, you're out. Rowe striking out for the second time and bringing Hallahan's strikeout record up to 4 this afternoon, which means that Mr. Hallahan's hits and strikeouts have been exactly the same. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. 1 man left at the bases. Repeating. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left at the bases.
This broadcast is sponsored by the makers of Ford and Lincoln cars and Ford trucks.
Back into the ball game, we find lefty Hallahan, who just struck out his pitching opponent to get himself out of a tight spot at the end of the fourth inning. Will be the first man to come up and face that same pitching opponent from the other end of the infield. He comes up here as the first man at bat in the first half of the fifth. St. Louis 2, Detroit 1 is the score in this second game of the series. Hallahan will be the first man to bat. Rowe is having a few warm-up throws. Watching for Hallahan to come up. He's swinging one bat, just coming up and taking it rather easily. Please, ladies and gentlemen, if we could get out from under this overcoat for just a second, we have time to light up cigarettes. All ready to go. Hallahan hits right-handed. He batted 182 during the regular season. First ball put to him, Rowe lays it down there for strike call on the inside corner of the knee. 1 strike to Hallahan. Hallahan's waiting for the next one. Rowe has the sign, winds up beautifully, hits an overhand curveball right down the groove with a lot of swift on it, and puts it in there for a strike. 2 strikes to Hallahan. Hallahan swings at the next one for strike 3, down on 3-pitch balls. That takes the second strikeout for Rowe this afternoon. The other man, having been Medwick, who struck out as the last man out of the first inning, with Sparky Frisch on first base. Rowe gets his sign, swings into an easy windup. He's ready to pitch to Pepper Martin. Pepper takes the sock at the first one. Almost a bunt more than anything else. He swung his bat down halfway, and the ball went over to the shortstop. Shortstop Rowe getting over to Greenberg in time for the second out. Martin out from Rowe to Greenberg in the fifth inning, making the second down and bringing Rothrock to bat. Rothrock has gone out twice to the infield, once from second to first, and the other time from pitcher to first base on a sacrifice bunt which moved Martin over to second in the third inning. First ball pitched down as a fast strike called on Rothrock. He's a switch batter, batting left-handed against right-hand pitching. There are 2 men down, and Rothrock looks the fast one that time. Rowe winds another one up, pitches down a slow ball. Misses the outside corner with an overhand slow ball that floated in wide. Ball 1 and strike 1. Waiting for the pitch. Rowe swings into the windup. Third baseman sneaking in a few steps. Here's the pitch. Rothrock takes the first out of the third ball, breaking away from the left-hand hitter for strike 2. Ball 1 and strike 2 to Rothrock. When he throws the ball to Rowe. Rowe finally gets rid of the pitches. Cochrane's waiting for it. Here it comes. Slow ball that came in a little bit too close to Rothrock that time. Ball 2 and strike 2, just above the shoulders, in by the neck. 2 and 2 to the hitter with 2 down. Rowe Rowe takes another sign. He swings in. Arms up high to second sign. He balances beautifully. Here's the pitch. There goes the ball off the second baseman. And a line drive out to Gerald, who wants to run, need to get the ball. For the fifth inning, for the Cardinals, no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. It's the second inning in a row in which the Cards have been held hitless. Starting the last half of the fifth, the leadoff man, White, followed by Cochrane, and then by Gehringer, all three of whom are left-hand hitters, be the first three men to face Hallahan. Hallahan having his warm-up throws with DeLancey. The rest of the boys in the infield are shooting the ball around over to first base to Collins. Martin DeRocher and first taking even turns. Hallahan still having his warm-up throws. You might be interested in knowing that the first four innings, not counting that first half of the fifth, the Cards made 2 runs on 6 hits, committed 1 error, and had 3 men left of the bases. Their opponents, the Tigers, in 4 innings have made 1 run on 4 hits, 2 of them for extra bases, have committed no errors, and have had 5 left of the bases. A very tight, well-played ball game, with Sergio White sitting up there waiting for Hallahan to pitch that first ball down to start the last half of the fifth. With the pitch, he stops that ball for a line drive, taken by Frankie Fitz in a nice shot. Right out, on a line drive to Frankie Fitz, he took 2 or 3 quick steps where he got step high and caught the ball. Nice and close. All right, we have Cochrane coming to bat. He's gone out once to the first base unassisted. He has walked once, moved to third on Gehringer's single in the third inning, and stood there while the last man, Greenberg, struck out. Hallahan ready to pitch to Cochrane, left-hand hitter. 1 man around, nobody on. Here's the pitch. Tries to bunt, punts the ball foul down third base. 1 strike to Cochrane. Strike 1 to Cochrane. A very tight ball game with the Cardinals leading by a score of 2-1 in the last of the fifth. 1 down, no one on. 1 strike down to the hitter who just attempted to bunt. Cochrane's waiting for the next pitch. Hallahan has his start. He swings into the windup, balances, kicks back far. Here's the pitch. Way down, low and wide. A curveball breaking wide and low to a left-hand hitter. That's the ball, 1 strike 1. Another one to Mickey. He's been waiting for the next pitch. Here it comes. That's a curve strike, cuts over the inside corner. Ball 1 and strike 2, called. Mickey speaks to umpire time about it. DeLancey heaves the ball back. Pitch is ready to pitch again. Ball 1 and strike 2. Cochrane standing down there, swings the bat up under his shoulder. Hallahan is taking his time about getting that sign. It's ball 1 and strike 2, and Cochrane finally steps back out of the batsman's box. Hallahan now gets ready to pitch to Cochrane. There's the pitch. Cochrane takes out, and the umpire looks it over and says wide for ball 2. Ball 2 and strike 2 to Mickey. 1 man down, no one in the bases. Swinging the bat easily, bringing it down forward and snapping it down toward his feet. Back around out of his shoulder. Here's the pitch. Takes it too high and close for the ball. It's a 3-2 count to Mickey Cochrane. Hallahan has to bear this next one down in there. The sign comes up to DeLancey. Hallahan nods that he has it. Ready to pitch this ball in. 3-2. Here it comes. Ball 4, and again we find Hallahan walking the same man. Cochrane walks. I'll put Cochrane on first base for his second walk of the afternoon, which, by the way, is the second walk given by Hallahan. In each case, it was Cochrane. Gehringer comes to bat. He's been safe on first in an error. He has singled and driven Cochrane to third base. It is 2 times up there. Now we have this boy Gehringer coming to bat, a left-hand hitter, one who batted .356 during the season. 2 left-handers facing each other with a man on first with a tying run. Here's the pitch. Right and low for the ball. Ball 1 wide and low. Hallahan steps off the mound. Finally steps back up out of it again. Gets his sign from DeLancey. Here's the pitch. Ball's hit to the top of Gehringer's head. So we have a call of ball 2. He ducks that one. The ball coming over his head. 2, no strike. A man on first with the tying run and only 1 down in this inning. The last half of the fifth. Cardinals are ahead 2-1, and Hallahan is pitching himself out of his spot the best he can right now with Gehringer up there at bat. Gehringer's had 1 of the 4 hits off Hallahan this afternoon. Here's the pitch. Right down the groove, strike ball. Gillinger jumps forward to disconcert the pitcher that time, but he whipped one in there with a lot of stuff on it. Ball 2 and strike 1. Collins, the first baseman, walked over, picks up a little blade of grass and calls something to Hallahan. Collins steps back toward first base. Cochrane, who walks, is over on first. Without tying run, Gillinger's up there with a 2-1 count. He's ahead of the pitcher. Pitcher stretches, looks toward first, but the runner's taking the lead. He breaks for second. The ball is fouled back into the screen, trying to put the hit and run on that time. But Gillinger's wallop turned out to be a foul. So Mickey comes back. It's ball 2, strike 2. And the baseball this time goes clear around the infield. Ball game still goes on here. Just that time Collins threw the ball over the top of Hallahan's head so Martin could get the ball and toss it to Hallahan. Hallahan reached for it, but Martin got it and threw it back to him. That's the first ball of this series. It's been thrown completely around the infield, if you've noticed. Ball 2, strike 2. There's a league rule on that, you know. 2 and 2 to the hitter, 1 down, man on first, and watching for Hallahan to put this one down. Gillinger's in there waiting for it. Here's the pitch, and then the ball outside right field. It's hit way out there. The right fielder goes back in the corner off it, and he gets the ball for the out. We have a fly on Rock, way back there in right field. A good long wallop, lots of height to it, giving Rock plenty of time to get under it. And now we have Greenberg coming to bat. The cleanup man, a right-hand hitter with a 340 average for the season. He scored out once this afternoon from third baseman, Kevin Martin, over the first baseman Collins, and he has struck out. Greenberg's at bat with a man on first, the tying run, 2 down, and playing in the last half of the 5th. Hallahan gets his time, looks to see what the fielders are saying. Swings around and sees they're playing this fellow for a left field hitter. Greenberg's down waiting for it. Cochrane leading at first base. There's the pitch. Greenberg takes that for strike. Called. He started to reach for it, changed his mind, and had it called for a strike anyway. 1 strike to Greenberg. Hallahan finally swings out and looks at the outfielders again. Glances over toward the scoreboard. Makes a sign to the catcher that he hasn't received that sign. Looking down there, waiting to get it, taking his time as an old head will do in a pinch like this. 1 strike to Greenberg with a runner on first with that tying run. He wants to protect that extra run lead that he has. Next ball is fouled by Greenberg. Back into the screen, strike 2. 2 strikes to Greenberg. Hallahan takes the new ball and goes to the rosin bag this time. Center fielder Shotty has just shifted over about 4 or 5 steps to his right, which brings him closer toward left center. Playing Greenberg definitely low for a left field hitter. Hallahan's going to pitch to Greenberg in just a moment. Greenberg swinging the bat. Mickey Cochrane, the head man's over on first base. Strike 2 is the call. No balls called. The next 2 comes in wide for the ball. Ball 1, strike 2, a waste ball that time. Couldn't get Greenberg to go for it. And that's the kind of a ball he struck at the last time when he struck out. Hallahan leans forward and gets his sign from DeLancey. Greenberg swings the bat. Man on first base starts to lead. That's Cochrane over there. He's walked for the second time. Here's the pitch. Started to reach for it. Umpire said he did not swing at it. Frankie Fish said he did swing at it. So does the catcher. Frankie Fish is coming in and talking to umpire Reardon at second base. And Reardon says, no, he did not complete his swing. You have to go halfway to make that swing. Greenberg steps out of the bat from top. Umpire Turner standing with his arms folded. He walks up toward home plate in order to accept the challenge of Frankie Fish coming in. Umpire Turner, who's been in there year after year and whose decisions are law. He's the man who became famous for going up to a very belligerent player one time and drawing a line with his foot and saying, don't step over the line. And he didn't. This is very good baseball, ladies and gentlemen. When a pitcher's in a spot, it takes both the batter and the pitcher weight. The pitcher to get a little more strength and the batter to forget the timing. That's what most of that arguing is done for down at home plate anyway. Ball 2, strike 2 with 2 down and the man of it on first base. Hallahan's ready to whip one down to Greenberg, who's in there waiting for it. Switching the batter out of his hands. He finally steps back, takes a little step, dries his hands. Hallahan approaches the mound, gets his time. Cochrane stretches lead at first. A very tight situation in the ball game. Here's the pitch way wide and high for ball 3 and strike 2. 3 and 2, an overhand curveball that forgot to break. Ready for that next ball to be pitched in. Hallahan approaches the mound. Man on first base, ready to go with the pitch. It's 3 and 2 with 2 down there. He goes to this ball 4. Hallahan walks his third man, his second successive walk. As a man on second with the tying run. And Goose Joslin, who got the first of the 4 hits off Hallahan, is coming to bat now with the tying run on second. Joslin, a left-hand hitter, is facing Hallahan, a left-hand pitcher. Hallahan walks back toward the rosin bag, rubs the ball up a little bit, gets all ready to go. Reardon on second base. The umpire over there is talking to Cochrane. Mickey standing with his hands in his hips, passing some sort of a sign down here. Goslin's waiting for the pitch. Runners on first and second. That tying run has moved to second now. It's a tight situation. And Hallahan's taking his time. On he swings into position. Gets ready to pitch that first ball out of Goslin. Here's the pitch. Goslin takes it for a strike call to the inside corner of the hips. One strike. One strike to Goslin. Stretches again. Runners on first and second taking the lead as Goslin takes the ball right past his nose. High for ball one. Up above his shoulders and in close for the 1-1 count, making Goslin bend back and fade away from that pitch. Hallahan swings up, glances toward the third base dugout and takes another sign. Bonnie from DeLancey. Swings toward third base. Looks over toward DeLancey, the catcher. Runners on first and second increasing the lead. Little slap lead. Here comes the pitch. There goes the ball out there, right center. Orsatti's coming in for it on a dead run. The right fielder's coming in, and Orsatti takes the ball. Played the wind nicely that time and got the ball for a flyout. Goslin making the last out on the fly to Ernie Orsatti to end the fifth. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 left on bases for the Tigers in the fifth. Repeating, no runs, no hits, no errors. 2 left on bases.
The nationwide broadcasts of the World Series games are brought to you by the Ford Motor Company.
Back into the first half of the 6th inning with Frankie Frisch, Ledwick, and Collins, the first 3 men to come and face Schoolboy Rowe. The St. Louis Cardinals scored once in the second and once in the third. Detroit scored once in the fourth on 2 beautiful singles, both of them for extra bases. Now we have Frisch will be up at bat in just a moment. Right now Rowe is having some up there. Greenberg tossing the old rubber ball around the infield to Owen, Rogel, and Geringer, all taking their shots at that first base place over there. Frisch, who batted 306 during the season, will be the first man up, being a switch batter. He got left out against right-hand pitching. We have Medwick calling him. Medwick struck out his first time up and singled in the third inning. Drove in a run, and he attempted to score on a Collins single immediately after that. It was out of the plate and a nice throw from Goslin down to Cochrane. Right now, Frankie Frisch is coming up toward the batsman's box. Umpire Combs ducks off the home plate very, very carefully. Does that same thing that he always does, ducks off the home plate and hits his right heel with the wrist broom. Takes the wrist broom in his pocket, puts on his mask and says, "Let's play ball, boys." Frankie Frisch at bat, 2-1 in favor of St. Louis. First half of the 6th, Rowe ready to pitch it. Here it comes. Frankie takes the first pass one right down there for strike one call. 1 strike to Frisch. Frankie stands back deep in the box. He's waiting for the next pitch. Here it comes. Frisch takes that one close for the ball. Ball 1 and strike 1. 1-1 to the hitter. Rowe takes another sign. Arms high, he balances. Here comes the fast one. Frankie hits the short first base, pops a little bit. It's a high bounded. The first baseman gets him out unassisted. Frisch out to first baseman Greenberg unassisted. That brings Medwick to bat. He has had 1 of the 5 hits off the pitching of Rowe. Rowe has not given a hit since he gave up 3 in the third inning and we're now in the 6th. Ready to go into the ball game in the 6th inning. His pass hits down here to Medwick. He swings at strike 1. 1 strike to Medwick. Rowe has given 6 hits. I called it wrong. Thanks a lot, friends, for calling my attention to that. He gave 3 in the first, 2 in the second, and 1 in the first. Next ball comes down as a hard hit ball out toward left field. Toward left center. Center fielder coming in for it, playing the wind, and gets the ball right there. Medwick out on a fly to the center fielder, White. He stayed out there and waited till Gerald had reached the peak of the arc, and then he started to run in for it. He came in and shot it very nicely, arms outstretched, but played the wind very carefully. Collins, who has had 1 of the 6 hits off Rowe, is the boy coming to bat. Collins comes to bat. Rowe ready to pitch to him. 2 men down in the 6th, and he has not allowed a hit since the third inning. First ball pitched in, almost gets Collins, close to the belt for ball 1. Ball 1 to Ripper. Playing in for a right field hitter. Then he's up to the ball to be pitched. The wind-up start. Here it comes. He swings. Terrific swing at that ball for a strike. Ball 1 and strike 2. Swinging so hard he spun completely off his feet, turned around and faced the opposite direction. He caught his balance. Getting set for that next pitch. He takes a cut of that one, a very slow, easy cut, and it's strike two. Ball one and strike two. Gets the curveball that time. Rowe lines the next one up, balances, and pitches it down. It's a slow one hit out foul into the stands toward right field. Foul ball hits against the rail and bounces into the box seat. It's a 1-2 count to Collins. Some little happening over there in the bleachers over by left field. Someone stood up and 17,000 shrieking fans yelled for down. There's the pitch. The ball is hit toward first. It's taken by Greenberg. Greenberg throws it over to Rowe, who makes a peek of the play at first base, getting there just ahead of Collins. That retires the side for the third inning straight. Without a hit. No run. No hit. No errors. No one left on base. No run. No hit. No errors. And no one left on bases for the Cubs. Condition where it's up to lefty Hallahan to come in and take that 2-run lead or 1-run lead that he has and protect it. It's 2-1 in favor of the Cardinals with Rowe, who doubled in the fourth, and Ford on Fox's double, the first man to face him. He will be followed in turn by Owen, third baseman, right-hand hitter who batted .316 during the current season, and who has struck out once and gone out once from second to first in this game. And he in turn will be followed by Fox, the boy who's doubled in the fourth inning, has driven in the only run that the Tigers have. It's a tight, well-played ball game here. Just like you expect to see a World Series. So far, it's very close. 2-1, favor of the Cardinals. Rowe, the first man to step up and face Mr. Hallahan, left-hand pitcher. Rowe is the switch batter, the only switch batter the Detroit boys have in their lineup. Watching for the first ball, he sits down as soon as Hallahan receives the ball. He just got it from Pepper Martin. Gets back to the mound. That's the first time to DeLancey. He gets into the pitch to Rowe. Playing Rowe for a short center field hitter. Hallahan starts his wind up. Arms going over his head. He balances. Here's the pitch to Rowe. He takes a cut at the ball and fouls it back up into the net. Ball bounces on down below. And a new ball is thrown back immediately from DeLancey to Hallahan. Hallahan doesn't even start to rub that ball up. He just walks over and he gets rid of the pitch down to Rowe. So one strike is a call to Rowe. The first ball pitch he fouled. Watch it for the next pitch. The wind-up starts. He balances. Here it comes. He took a slug at that. It's a slow one down third base line in foul territory. Taken there on the bounce by Pepper Martin and thrown around the infield. Rowe now has two strikes. One fouled back to the screen. The other fouled along the third base line. Martin has received the ball from Collins and given it to Hallahan. Now approaches the mound. Taking so first in after smoothing out the dirt. Takes his time to pitch to Rowe. The pitcher's out ahead of him. Nothing improves. The ball's called. Two strikes. Rowe swinging the bat down, bringing it back onto his shoulders. The wind-up starts. Here's the pitch. Rowe fouls that one back into the screen. He's taking a cut of everything that looks good, and they all look good. Rowe steps in and waits for another one. Hallahan has a new baseball. Every time he pitched to Rowe so far in this inning. Rowe swinging the bat down there. Seems to be very, very relaxed. Not the least bit tight. He's waiting for that ball to be pitched in. There's a 1-run lead at the Cardinals. It's 2-1 in their favor. Here's the pitch way high and wide. He wouldn't go for that one. Ball one and strike two to the hitter. 1-2. Rowe steps off, ducks his hands a bit, drives them, steps back in again, and Hallahan immediately starts to wind up. Pitches the ball down. That one's ball for the ball, too wide. Wide at the shoulders for the 2-2 count. Rowe got that two strikes and then started to wait for them. We'll see how the next one turns out. The call is 2-2 to the first hitter up here. Playing past the sixth. Rowe hits one toward third. Pepper Martin gets it on the second bounce. Puts it over the first base. The right fielder drops the ball. Finally picks it up. A terrific throw on the part of Martin for an error. Rowe placed on second base on an error. A bad throw by Pepper Martin. The tying run goes to second. That is the second error this afternoon on the part of the St. Louis Cardinals. Pepper got that ball and threw it way over the top of Collins' head. Collins made a terrific leap forward but missed the ball by at least 3 feet. Owen comes to bat with a tying run on second and nobody down in the sixth. struck out once and grounded out once to the infield. Right now, the shortstop, DeLancey, is standing about 8 feet from second base. Watching Rowe. First ball, pitch down, ball one, 2 wide. Ball one. Ready for the next pitch. Here it comes. The base down a bunt. Pitcher gets it. Throws the third. And the runner is out of third base on an attempted bunt. For a sacrifice, we have Hallahan getting the ball, throwing it to Martin. He's got Rowe. Owen safe on first and the fielder's choice. And the man on first is Fox coming to bat. An attempted bunt turned out to be a putout. Well, the ball but it was an attempted sacrifice. Man is off the pitcher over to third baseman, coming down from second. With a man on first, one man down on the Fox coming to bat. With two couples who drove in the first run for the Detroit Tigers. The only run they had, and that was in the fourth inning. Fox, the right-hand hitter, is waiting for Hallahan to pitch to him. There's a man on first and one out with a 2-1 score in favor of St. Louis. Very tight in the last out of the sixth. He attempted the bunt. You had it called for a strike. One strike to Fox, the right fielder. A 281 batter for the season. Hallahan takes his time to pitch another one up. Goes up the pitching mound, past the fielder onto his throw plate, keeping his eye on Owen, the boy over on first base. Shortstop over there, DeLancey yells, come on, Bill, come on, Bill, come on, Bill, get this way, Fox. Here comes the pitch. Fox takes it for the ball. Very plainly you can hear what they say down there on the field. Most of his come on. Ball one and strike one. 1-1 to Fox. Fox standing there, bent at the knees, leaning forward slightly at the waist, waiting for the pitch. Hallahan looking towards first to see Owen take his lead. Here's the pitch. Fox just comes straight up in the air. Frankie Fritz is coming in for it. The wind blowing it away from him, but he takes the ball for the out. That puts Fox out on a fly to Frankie Fritz. There's a man on first, and Rowe comes to bat. It's up to Rowe. Schoolboy Rowe comes to bat. Or should come up to bat. Just a moment now. All right, he steps up toward the bat to Fox. Meantime, we find Mr. DeLancey out talking to Hallahan. Rowe has struck out twice, and he's 2 times up here at the plate today, although he did bat 314 during the Major League season. Rowe swings into the batsman's box, waits for the pitcher to throw that first ball. There's a man on first with 2 out. Hallahan keeping his eye on Owen. Owen's taking his lead at first. Here's the pitch. Rowe takes the first one, ball a little bit wide. Ball 1 too wide to Rowe. Rowe is steady in there, waiting for the next one. All set. Drops the bat down off his shoulder, hits it back up again. Hallahan stretches, looks toward first. Here's the pitch. That one's called for the ball, wide. Mr. DeLancey tried to sell a strike on him by holding up the right hand, but it goes for ball just a little bit wide to Rowe, just about the knee. Ball 2, no strike. Hallahan's ready to swing into that next one. Ready for the next pitch to come down. Another wide one for ball 3. Ball 3 and no strikes to Rowe. Man over on first base. Hallahan has no windup. He's watching the first baseman at first base all the time. And he steps forward and just touches the rosin back with his fingers. Hallahan takes his time from DeLancey to pitch down a Rowe. And on first base is lead. It's a 3-0 count. They send the pitch for strike call. The automatic strike hit is in about shoulder high on the outside corner to a right-hand hitter. 1 strike to Rowe. Hallahan stretches. He's watching the runner on first. He's all ready to go. The bat and ball come together. Strike called in the inside corner at the chest. Ball 3, strike 2. One of the fastest balls Hallahan has whipped down this afternoon. He put everything back at that. 3-2. The runner on first will go with the pitch with 2 down. He's all set to go, increasing his lead just a trifle. There goes the runner down towards second. And it's strike 3 called. You're out. He pointed right down the middle for the first strike, making his 5th strikeout. And in 3 of those 5 cases, Schoolboy Rowe was the man. In the 6th inning, for the Detroit Tigers, no runs, no hits. There was 1 error, and there was 1 man left at the bases. For the Tigers, no runs, no hits, One error charged against Pepper Martin. One man left at the bases.
The Ford Motor Company hopes that the crowds that are listening in at the showrooms of Ford dealers throughout the United States and Canada, as well as everywhere else, are enjoying this game.
Two down. He's all set to go, increasing his lead just a trifle. There goes the runner down towards second. And a strike three calls are out. He's pointed right down the middle for the first strike, making his fifth strikeout. And in 3 of those 5 cases, Schoolboy Rowe was the man. In the 6th inning, one of the Detroit Tigers. No runs, no hit. There was 1 error, and there was 1 man left at the bases. For the Tigers, no runs, no hit. 1 error charged against Pepper Martin. 1 man left at the bases.
The Ford Motor Company hopes that the crowds that are listening in at the showrooms of Ford dealers throughout the United States and Canada, as well as everywhere else, are enjoying this game.
Back into the 7th inning, we find DeLancey, who's had 1 hit and scored once and has gone out once on the fly to left field. Or Stoffy, who has tripled once and scored DeLancey ahead of him, and has laid down a bunt, which turned out to be a hit out of first base on a surface. Mr. DeLancey, who was a 266 hitter during the season, has gone out on a pop side to the first baseman and has gone out once from Owen at third over to first baseman Greenberg. Those are the first 3 men to come in and face Mr. Rowe, who's pitching this inning, and since the 3rd inning, Rowe has not allowed the semblance of a hit. The St. Louis Cardinals are ahead by a score of 2-1 in the first half of the 7th inning, second game of the World Series of 1934. There goes the line drive. A hit to the catch by the shortstop, Mr. Rowe. He took 2 steps to his right, made a dive towards third base, caught the ball about 4 inches from the ground by crossing his glove hand over his body. A beautiful catch for the put-out. DeLancey out to the shortstop, Mr. Rowe, on a spectacular catch. Orsatti coming to bat. Orsatti at bat. Schoolboy Rowe steps up there and gets his sign from Cochrane. The Cards are trying to get 4 runs because that 1-run lead looks a little bit tough every time they go out there on the field. It's 2-1 in favor of the Cards. Rowe has held and hitless since the 3rd. First ball pitched down here is a slow strike to Orsatti, who jumped up into the front of the batsman's box, attempting to disconcert Mr. Rowe. But he hits it right in there with a lot of hook on it for strike 1. Rowe winds up again, pitches an overhand curveball that will miss at the outside corner at the shoulders for a 1-1 count. Ball 1, strike 1 to Orsatti with 1 down and no one on, and playing the first of the 7th. Here's the pitch. Then he hits the bounder back towards second. Second baseman comes up with it over to first base, and Orsatti is out by 2 steps. On a nice throw from Gehringer over to Greenberg. Gehringer to Greenberg for the out. Now we have DeRocher coming to bat. DeRocher at bat. Mr. DeRocher is a 256 hitter, a right-hand hitter. Takes a smack at the first fastball and misses it for strike 1. 1 strike to DeRocher. There are 2 men out. There's nobody on the bases. Rowe hits another one down, a side-on curveball that hits the corner for strike 2 with an awful lot of twist on it. Strike 2 to DeRocher. Rowe gets ready to pitch another one. Starts the windup and balances. Here comes the swing of the arm, and the ball is hit up in the air toward first base. It's a foul. First baseman's going back after it. But the second baseman runs over as the wind blows it in behind the first baseman who's going for it. Greenberg was running away from first. The ball was thrown over his shoulder. Gehringer crossed over from his position at second in the infield with a nice running shot of a foul out. This retires the side with no run, no hit, no errors, and no one left at the base. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left at the base. Since the 3rd inning, with monotonous regularity, Mr. Rowe has set the boys down. 1, 2, 3. During that time, since the 3rd inning, there have been 11 men bat against him. He has struck out 1 and made every one of them go out to the infield except 2. That was Medrick in the 6th, who flied out to the center fielders, and DeLancey in the 4th, who flied out to the left fielder. The only 2 men to successfully have hit the ball out of the infield, and both of them will fly out since the 3rd inning. Great pitching is being shown today. Fact of the matter is, we have 6 hits off Rowe, 2 runs off Rowe. He has struck out 2 and walked nobody. Hallahan has allowed 4 hits, 1 run, and struck out 5 and walked 3. We start out with White, Cochrane, and Gehringer starting the 7th inning. The leadoff man coming up to bat. The score 2-1 in favor of the St. Louis Cards, and a hometown crowd of Tiger fans here is yelling for rally. The leadoff man coming up in the 7th. White waits for the first pitch and socks it up in the air. shortstop is going back after it, says he can get it. He's backing out in toward left center and gets the ball in short left center for the out. Right out on the first ball pitch and a fly to DeLancey, the shortstop. That puts one man down and brings Cochrane to bat. Cochrane has walked twice, gone out once to the infield, first base unassisted. All right, Hallahan gets ready to pitch this ball on to Cochrane. Cochrane stands in there swinging the bat. Hallahan walked him in the third, walked him in the fifth. First ball pitch down, he attempts to bunt. The ball goes to the left of the plate for the foul. Strike. One strike to Mickey Cochrane. Cochrane hits it down toward right field. A piece of the play over there with the second baseman, Frankie Fish, running to his left, getting the ball back in the grass, is it entered right field, flipping it over to Collins for the out. Cochrane out, from second baseman Fish over to Collins at first for the second out of this inning, and Gerald comes to bat. Gerald is the second baseman coming to bat. Mr. Hallahan was not allowed to hit since the fourth inning, and they mixed him for two doubles and made the one run that the Tigers now have. Gerald has had one of the four hits off Hallahan. Hallahan swings at the windup. This is the first one to Gerald, but he takes it too close to the belt for ball one. Ball one of the hitters, two down, no one on, and the Cardinals leading 2-1 as we play in the last half of the seventh. Hallahan taking another stand, ready to swing into the windup. They're playing this boy for a left field hitter. Next one's called ball two. Ball two, that one going wide. The first one missed the inside corner, the next one the outside corner. Hallahan taking his stand. Third baseman Martin walks in a few steps. It's a 2-0 count on Gerald. Now he starts to back up at third base. The next ball nips the outside corner just above the knees for strike one call. Ball two, strike one. Gerald steps forward into that, changes his mind, runs the bat back and took it for the called strike. Hallahan circles his arms over his head, balances and hits the next one down with a lot of speed on it, but it's too high, coming in past Gerald's head. Ball three and strike one. 3-1 to Gerald. We're getting set for that next ball to be put down. 3-1. This one has to be good. Ball four, take your walk. That's another walk by Hallahan. Making 4 walks this afternoon. The walks now evenly hit. Gerald is on first base with a walk. Greenberg is a .340 hitter for the season, which means that he's well up there. He's a right-hand hitter, batting against the left-hand pitcher with a man on first with a tying run and 2 down. Another tense situation. This ball game has been tense all the way through. Both pitches have been in spots. World Series baseball. The first ball is pitched, missed by the catcher, but it hits against his shin guard and bounces it over the plate. He receives it quickly and throws it back to the pitcher, Hallahan. Greenberg then is called for ball one. Ball one to Greenberg. That tying run is on first due to a walk, and Greenberg is the man hitting. Hallahan swings in with the pitch that next one. Now they're playing Greenberg for a left field hitter. He takes a fast strike, calls. Ball one and strike one. Ball one and strike one to Greenberg. Third baseman Pepper Martin backs up a few steps and walks in a few steps, and just before the ball is pitched to Greenberg, he steps back probably 8 or 10 steps. Hallahan pitches another one down. Taken for ball too low. Is it too low for ball two? Ball two and strike one. Greenberg looking back to DeLancey, who was talking to Clem over his shoulder on that last decision. Kind of grinning about it. Hallahan swings onto the mound, keeping his eye on that runner on first base, Gerald, whom he just walked. It's 2-1 to Greenberg. Greenberg swings to the wide fast one. Ball two and strike two. He puts that one down there with a lot of stuff on it. 2-2. He's getting set for this pitch. Hallahan pitching very cautiously, taking his time. It's a 2-2 count with 2 down and the man on first. Here's the pitch. Strike three calls the left, right down the middle. That's Hallahan's 6th strikeout this afternoon. Greenberg looking at the third strike for the second time this afternoon. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. For the Tigers in the 7th, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on the base.
Here's good news for millions of radio listeners. Next Sunday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, the Ford Motor Company will inaugurate over the complete coast-to-coast Columbia network the Ford Sunday Evening Hour. This will be a full hour of glorious music. There will be a symphony orchestra under the direction of Victor Kolar, who conducted the Detroit Symphony Orchestra at Ford Gardens at the fair, and celebrated soloists from the operatic and concert stage. Also a mixed chorus of 24 voices. This Sunday evening, Madame Yeritza, famous operatic star, will be the guest artist, and Mr. Edsel Ford will make a brief talk.
Starting the ball game in the first half of the eighth inning, with Schoolboy Rowe pitching first to Hallahan, his pitching opponent, then to Pepper Martin, then to Rothrock. Hallahan and Martin both hit right-handed. Rothrock is a switch batter. We have Hallahan standing on there waiting for the ball to be pitched. He has slid out to right and he has struck out, and he's 2 times at the plate. First ball pitched, he took a cut at the ball. A Farabee cutting down as if to bunt, and it was called for strike one. The ball bounced off of the side of his bat, off of DeLancey's glove, and struck umpire Clem on the inside of his left thigh. He's walking around now, lifting his feet up in the air to see if they still track. Apparently they do, so he's all ready to go. All right, Hallahan has 1 strike. That ball is 6 wide and high for a 1-1 count. Ball 1 and strike on the lefty Hallahan. These pitchers have both been throwing great guns since the 3rd and 4th innings. Neither one of them having allowed a hit since that time. The next ball pitched in comes too close. Hallahan saves out from it. Ball 2 and strike one to Hallahan, who hit 182 for the season, by the way. With the pitch, Hallahan hits one up in the air over near second base. Second baseman Doc Aldrich says he can get it. He's right. Mr. Dillinger takes the ball for the put-out. That puts 1 man down. Next man coming to bat, Pepper Martin, who's had 1 hit, scored once this afternoon, gone out once to the infield from short to first, and has flied out once to center field in his 3 appearances at the plate. He will be followed by Rothrock, who has not hit the ball out of the infield. Martin coming up, steps into the batsman's box. Rowe gets his sack from the head man, pitches the ball down, and Martin takes a swing at it and hits it over to the shortstop. He comes up with it, makes a wide throw to first with a long stretch in the front of Greenberg, and Martin is out by a step. Martin out on the throw from shortstop over to first base. In other words, from Mr. Gerald to Mr. Greenberg. Rothrock comes to bat. He's been about twice a century this afternoon, and each time has gone out to the infield. 2 men down in the 8th. Here's the pitch. Rothrock takes the cut at the first one, a very fast ball. Looking at the ball after it got down in Cochrane's lip for strike 1. Rowe ready to pitch the next one down. The pitch. He reaches for a slow one, has to furnish his own power, doesn't get the power in there, and Dillinger throws him out at first base. Out comes Dillinger over to first base, and since the 3rd inning, this pitcher, Mr. Rowe, has not allowed the Summons to hit. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no run left in the bases in the 8th for the Cards. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no run left. The Tigers now come in for their turn at bat in the last half of the 8th, with Gosman, Rodell, and Owen. A possibility that Fox might come up. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have time for station identification. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The WBBMI Theater, Wrigley Building, Chicago.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, right back in your home to tell you about this 8th inning. Goslin, who's had 1 hit, Rodell, who doubled and scored on Cox's double, and Owen, who has had no hits this afternoon, will be the first 3 men to come up and face lefty Hallahan in the 8th inning. These fans up here are really pulling for the Tigers. Don't think they're not, because they stood up in the 7th, now they're standing up again in the 8th. Goslin, left-hand hitter, will be the first man up to bat. He steps into the batsman's box. Pepper Martin has walked over toward his playing position. Hallahan gets his sign from DeLancey. We're starting the last of the 8th with the St. Louis Cardinals leading 2-1. They scored once in the 2nd, once in the 3rd, and Detroit scored once in the 4th. There's a pitch to Goslin, strike 1, called. 1 strike to Goose Goslin, a 302 hitter during the regular league season, a left-handed batter. Lefty Bill Hallahan gets ready to wind and this one up. Here it comes. Overhand curveball that hit the dirt about 6 feet in front of the plate, bounced up and struck the catcher on the inside of his right thigh. And now he is doing the goose step down there, just as umpire Clem did a few moments ago. Ball 1 and strike 1. Goslin's down there waiting for it. taking his time, pitching extremely cautiously here in the last 2 or 3 innings. The last 2 innings particularly. Been very cautious about the way he pitches that ball. Taking lots of time between pitches. There goes the ball back toward right. Frankie Frisch makes a stop on the throw to first base, and the runner's out on the play. Well, Frisch got the ball at least 8 feet back in the grass and whipped it over to first base. Going to his left, catching his balance, getting the ball in the hop and whipping it down without taking a step forward. Throwing it from a sidearm position, and Gosman is out on a very close decision, a very fast play. So we have Rowe coming to bat. Rowe is the last man to get a hit off the pitching of Hallahan. No, he's not. I beg your pardon. Mr. Fox is the last man. Rowe got a hit in the 4th and scored on Fox's double. This ball pitched to Rowe too close to the knees in the inside corner for ball 1. Ball 1 with 1 down. And it's still 2-1 in favor of St. Louis. Wind-up starts, the pitch is delivered, there goes the ball out toward right center, back deep. Right fielder's over after it and takes the ball for the out after a short run. Rowe out on a fly to the right fielder, gets a wrap off. Owen comes to bat. He has struck out once, grounded out once to the infield from second to first, and on an attempted punt, Rowe, who was on second, was thrown out. And he was safe on a fielder's choice in the 6th. So much then for the batting powers of Mr. Owen this afternoon, who got a .316 during the regular season, and is a dangerous hitter at any kind of a pinch. Although he's batting down here in the 7th spot, he's liable to cork one any time. There comes the pitch, the ball is fired up into the right field stands, up along the first stand, Rowe missed the ball and it dropped down below. So 1 strike call to Mr. Owen, the third baseman. Right-hand hitter, facing lefty Hallahan with 2 and no one out. Hallahan accepts the sign from DeLancey, swings it to the windup, balances high, here's the pitch. A high bounder back towards second base. Frankie Frisch gets it, puts it over to first base, the runner's out by a step. Another nice play by Frankie, who swung in and was out that time. And we found that Mr. Hallahan has not allowed a hit now since the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on bases for the Tigers in the last half of the 8th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left. The Ford Motor Company, which is sending you these World Series broadcasts, hopes that you are enjoying the game. We are starting the first half of the 9th inning with Frankie Frisch, Mickey Medwick, and Rip Collins, the first 3 men coming to face Schoolboy Rowe. Since the 4th, Hallahan has not allowed a hit, and since the 3rd, Rowe has not allowed a hit. The ball has just been popped now by Frankie Frisch out toward left field, and it looks as if the ball is taken foul by Mr. Gerald. Played the winds nicely and got the ball in foul territory for Frisch to be the first out on a foul fly to left field. The next man coming to bat is Medwick, who tore things apart yesterday, who has had 1 hit today. Has gone out attempting to score on a single by Collins, trying to score from second base, but he was thrown out at the plate by Gosman. He has tried out to center field, and he has struck out once. Mickey Medwick, right-hand hitter, 1 man down the 9th. First ball pitched in a nice fast strike on the inside corner just above the knees. The right one to Medwick. Rowe winds another one up. This is a foul fly one down, and Medwick reaches for it and misses with the end of the spot for strike 2. Same sort of an overhand throw that time, but that ball didn't come down. It kept sailing along high. Medwick reached for it and missed it. 2 strikes to Medwick. Rowe winds another one up. He balances. Here's a pitch. Medwick takes it for strike 3. A fast-breaking curveball on the inside corner. And in a 3 strikeout this afternoon by Mr. Rowe, Medwick has struck out twice. The other man was Hallahan. Now there are 2 men out of the 9th, and the man coming to bat is Rip Collins. A .333 hitter with 35 home runs to his credit this year. A quick batter who's had 1 hit, grounded out once to the infield and flied out once to center. As Collins got ready to come in for his turn at bat, Rowe got ready to wind up and pitch the ball down, but umpire Tom noticed there was an extra bat lying over there near first. He also noticed something going around right field and stopped the play. Here's the first pitch. Collins takes the first and posts the bat. Ball 1. Rowe seems to be pitching a faster fastball as the game goes along. He has shown beautiful control and power ever since that first. 1 ball pitch to Collins. He takes the shot at the next and fires it off the end of his bat back into the crowd to the next of the plate. Ball 1 and strike 1. Rowe receives a new ball from Cochrane. There are 2 men down, nobody on in the 9th, and the Cardinals are enjoying at the present time that 1-run lead looks as big as a mountain. Mountains have been scaled, you never can tell. Here's the pitch. Collins swings at another one. And the ball bounces back against Cochrane. Bounces out in front of the plate, and it looks as if Cardinals is going to take a nasty nibbling shot at that ball. After struck the ground. Ball 1 and strike 2. They're yelling to someone down there. There's a fellow in white down there. 2 of the boys, 4 of the boys now. We have white uniforms just standing down around the right field, and they're back in behind the screen, but their white uniforms are interfering with the sight of the ball as it comes up to a left-hand hitter apparently. Ball 1 and strike 2 to Collins. 2 down. Here's the pitch. Collins takes it high. Right past the nose to ball 2. 2 and 2 to the hitters. Rowe swings up. Winds it. Here it comes. Collins takes it for strike 3. Oh, you're out. Right down to the outside corner. The third ball cutting away from him. And he hits it for strike 3. You're out. Rowe then is sent with his 4th strikeout of the afternoon and has not allowed a hit since the 3rd. No runs in the ninth. No hits. No errors. And no one left on base for the Cardinals. No runs. No hits. No errors. And no one left for the base. Not a man has reached base on the pitching of Rowe since the 3rd inning. That, ladies and gentlemen, is big league, and it's also World Series pitching. Mr. Hallahan, on the other hand, don't think we haven't been watching him, too. He has a lot of hits in support. Both pitchers have been pitching great ball this afternoon. The score is 2-1 in favor of the Cardinals, and it's up to Mr. Hallahan now if he wants to win his ball game to protect this 1-run lead. And during the time he's trying to protect it, he's facing the following 3 men. Mr. Fox, mayhap Mr. Rowe, and Mr. White. The 2 last men in the list, the 8-foot innings batter for Rowe, we do not know. Fox is coming to bat. The score is 2-1 in favor of the St. Louis Cardinals. We're starting the last half of the ninth. The crowd has come out of its stance after having watched this great pitcher's battle, and they're starting to yell for that win. Cardinals are ahead. There's the first ball, pitched down, and Mr. Fox fouls it back into the screen. Fox, you know, doubled in the 4th inning and drove in Rowe, who had doubled just before him, for the 1 run that the American League team has this afternoon in this ball game. And there goes the ball off that right field. It's a line drive single with a tying runners on base. Hallahan giving up his 5th hit of the afternoon and his first hit since the 4th inning. The Cardinals are going to try to go out here and make one of their famous line-hitting rallies in this ball game. The crowd stands up to a man and cheers. We have it. The next man coming to bat should be Rowe. Schoolboy Rowe is going to bat. Although he has left this afternoon of having struck out 3 times in a row, Schoolboy Rowe is apparently going to bat. Baker has gone over. One of the coaches, Baker's gone over the crossroads. Hallahan has given up his first hit since the 4th inning. There's a man on base with a tying run in the 9th. Rowe comes to bat. Hallahan gets ready to pitch. The runner on first is the Fox, getting his 2nd hit out of the 5 allowed this afternoon by Hallahan. Is the man who's ready to take his lead. He leads off first. The bang in close at third base line, expecting a bunt. He takes a full cut of the ball, attempting to cross up the infield, and fouls it back to the screen for strike 1. They were watching with the bunt, but he tried to cross them up. Just lifted it up to the screen, getting the ball on the bottom. Rowe is waiting for the next pitch, but Hallahan takes the new ball and goes to the Rosenbach this time. Lefty Hallahan, an old-timer to whom World Series pitching means nothing more than another ball game, has been down there pitching against Schoolboy Rowe, who in his first World Series has pitched a beautiful game. Fox with the tying run is at first, hitting it back down toward 2nd. Third baseman still expecting a bunt. It is a bunt. Hallahan plays it, makes it over to the first base, and the runners advance to 2nd in that tying run. And the head of the batter is coming up. Schoolboy Rowe laying down a sacrifice bunt. The bunt is taken by the pitchers. Ball over the first base, which is covered by Frankie Fish, the second baseman. Then tries to get out of that fight. And Fox moves down to 2nd on the sacrifice. Now we're trying to hit the batting list coming to out. Jojo, White, and Cochrane. Apparently White is not going to bat. There must be a pinch batter going in for him, or else he's coming back for instructions. Instructions are being given. The runner on 2nd base, Mr. Fox, is going over towards 3rd. It's in play over there with Mickey Cochrane. Now the entire infield of the St. Louis Cardinals have come in to tap with their pitcher, lefty Bill Hallahan, who has pitched a great game this afternoon. In our probability, Walker, number 6, is the man coming to bat. Walker, number 6, will be the boy who's coming up to bat in place of Jojo White. The man on second base. The Dub Boys have just started things off here with a single in the ninth inning. Walker battling for White. DeLancey is back here with the pitcher, Mr. Hallahan. What a finish to a World Series, ladies and gentlemen. Both pitchers have pitched beautiful ball. Both infields have been as fast as straight lightning. The outfields have played nicely. We have seen everything that you would want to see in a World Series game on a regular league game. The score is 2-1 in favor of the St. Louis Cardinals. They're playing the last half of the ninth. With Fox on second base. With a tying run, Walker, a pinch hitter, is hitting for Walker. I beg your pardon for White. He's a right-hand hitter. Hallahan ready to pitch to him. Here's the pitch. The ball is a foul high up in the air. The catcher says he can get it. Walker coming to bat. To all intents and purposes, the ball game is supposed to end in the ninth inning. But the tying run is on second base. We may see an extra inning World Series, we may not. But right now, Bill Hallahan is going to pitch that ball down. He has given up 5 instead of 6 now. Here's the pitch. That is the ball. WBBM has requested that Frank Walk, who did yesterday's battle, complete the game for him. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here is Frank Walk.
Very sorry that Mr. Flanagan, after doing a beautiful job that he's done to this point, had to go out because his voice left incomplete.
In the last half of the ninth inning, ladies and gentlemen, the Detroit Tigers have just tied up the ball game due to the fact that Fox, the first man up, got a single out to right field, after which Schoolboy Rowe sacrificed Hallahan to Collins to advance into second. And then Gerald Walker came in as a pinch hitter for White, the center fielder. Walker coming in due to the fact that he's a right-handed hitter. And after getting two strikes on him, he hit a pop fly down toward first base, at which the Cardinals kind of debated on who was going to take it, and finally no one went after it, which would have made 2 outs for him. And then Walker came back and took advantage of the situation by slapping a single out to center field and scoring Fox with the tying run. And since that time, there's been quite a conference going on out on the Cardinal mound, and it looks like another Southpaw is coming in for the Cardinals. Bill Hallahan going to leave the game, and Bill Walker, another Southpaw pitcher, is coming in to finish out for the Cardinals. Bill Hallahan has pitched a beautiful ball game. He hasn't allowed any hits since the 4th inning up until the first half of the ninth there, when he has allowed 2. He's getting a nice hand as he goes into the dugout, going over through the Detroit dugout to go to the clubhouse. Walker is on the mound now, warming up with DeLancey. Bill Walker, another Southpaw, on the firing line now, warming up with DeLancey. The first man to face him will be Mickey Cochrane, and he'll be followed by Charlie Garrington. Papa Martin goes in to say a few words to Bill Walker. One man down. Walker on first base. Gerald Walker on first base. Bill Walker pitching for the Cardinals. And Mickey Cochrane is the man at the plate. Cochrane has walked twice this afternoon, the 3rd and 5th inning. Walker's on the mound, getting a signal from DeLancey. For the first pitch to Mickey Cochrane. Gerald Walker on first base. We keep all these Walkers straight. There's a throw over to first base. Bill Walker to Collins. Bill Walker's back on the mound now. Umpire Reardon is busy grabbing newspapers that are blowing all over the infield. Walker's getting set. Here's the first pitch, and it's strike one called on Cochrane. He got the first one in there. One strike is the count on Mickey Cochrane, with one man down, and Gerald Walker on first base. The last half of the ninth inning, and what has been a great ball game out here this afternoon. Walker's on the mound. Bill Walker getting a signal again from DeLancey. Makes another quick throw over to first base to Collins, but Gerald Walker is back to the bag safely. Collins tosses the ball back into Bill Walker. Taking his position on the mound. Getting set for the pitch. Getting a signal from DeLancey. He's all set for the delivery. Here it is. And it's a foul tip. Strike two. Two strikes as they count on Mickey Cochrane, who is hitting for the Tigers. Left-handed hitter. Still has Gerald Walker on first base. One man down. Right at the present time, Gerald Walker is the man of the hour. Bill Walker's on the mound, getting set, and he's getting caught off the first base. He's going to run up between first and second. Bill Walker threw over to Collins. Collins down to first. Fish is running down after him, and he throws to Bill Walker, and Bill Walker throws back down to DeRocher. The whole team is over there. The whole team is over there, and Fish finally caught him with the ball. That was a beautiful play there where Bill Walker caught Gerald Walker off the first base on a quick throw over to Rip Collins after he come around in a position like he was going to pitch. Made a quick throw to Collins. Collins threw to Fish. Fish back to Bill Walker before he could say scat. Everybody but Orsatti, Medwick, and Rothrock was over there. Even DeLancey down there backing up the play at first base. And finally, Frankie Fish made the put out. And as far as that goes, Rothrock was coming in, and so was Medwick. Two down. There's about 26 assists on that one, Ted. Two down. Mickey Cochrane batting. Bill Walker's getting a signal from DeLancey. Winding up. Here's the pitch. Strike three. Called. Mickey Cochrane is called out on strike. For the third out, retiring the side. And Mickey didn't like that one very well. This is the last half of the ninth inning, and the score is now tied up 2-2. The Ford Motor Company, which is sending you these World Series broadcasts, hopes that you are enjoying this ball game. And now we're going into the first half of the 10th inning, extra innings in this second game of the World Series, and the score tied up 2-2. The first man for the Cardinals, the first half of the 10th inning, will be DeLancey, the Cardinal catcher, followed by Orsatti, and then DeRocher. Schoolboy Rowe still on the firing line for the Tigers. He was a little bit uneasy in the early part of the game this afternoon, but he hasn't allowed a hit since the third inning. They got one hit off of him in the first inning, Frankie Fish getting a single. Then in the second inning, there was a single by DeLancey and a triple by Orsatti. That resulted in a run. And in the third inning, Martin got a single, and Medwick and Collins getting singles, which resulted in another run. And since that time, Schoolboy Rowe has been very stingy with anything that looked like a hit. There was only one other ball that was really cracked hard, and that was one that was hit down through short where Rowe made a sensational diving catch. Rowe and Frankie Fish have been the leading stars of the game this afternoon. Fish making a couple good stops, and Rowe making that one, which was a beauty. DeLancey is the first man up. Walker. Just a moment. Jack going into center field for the Tigers. Jack playing center field. DeLancey is the first man up. Rowe's on the mound. He gets his signal. Winding up. Here's the pitch. Strike one called on DeLancey. One strike is the count on DeLancey. The left-handed hitter. And DeLancey has one hit out of three trips. Here's the next pitch. Wide, ball one. DeLancey is the boy that cracked that hard one in the seventh inning down through short that Rowe made the sensational catch-off. Rowe's winding up. Here's the next one. And it's a fly ball. Going out back of short, deep short, around a short left. Gosselin coming in, and he takes care of it for the initial out. DeLancey out on a fly to Goose Gosselin in short left. One away, and that brings up Ernie Orsatti, the Cardinal center fielder, a left-handed hitter. Orsatti has one hit out of three trips, getting a trip in the second inning. Scotty batting, left-handed hitter. Rowe's winding up. Here's the pitch. Strike one. He swung at it. One strike is the count. On Ernie Orsatti with one man down. Rowe's winding up again. Here's the next pitch. And it's a ground ball going down to Gehringer. Gehringer takes it on a big hop, and he's out at first. Gehringer to Greenberg for the second out. Two down. Two down, and that brings up Leo DeRocher, the Cardinal shortstop, a right-handed hitter. This is DeRocher's fourth appearance at the plate. He has many hits so far this afternoon. That's right-handed. He'll be followed by Bill Walker, who is now 40. Here's the pitch. Foul back against the screen. Strike one. One strike on DeRocher. Bill Walker, who is now pitching for the Cardinals, will be the next hitter. One strike on DeRocher. Blue ball is tossed out to Rowe. He gets the signal from Cochrane, winding up. Here's the next one. A little bit high. Ball one. Making the count read 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike on DeRocher. 1-1 is the count. Rowe's on the mound again. Lining up, and here's the next one. And it's a drive going out to right field. Fox is going back, and he takes care of it. For the third out, retiring the side. The wind is very bad out there, making it very difficult for the outfielders. Fox was running around a little bit in the circle out there on that one, but he took care of it very nicely. For the third out, retiring the side. The result there, the first half of the 10th inning, show no runs, no hits, and no errors. And the score remains 2-2 going into the last half of the 10th inning. We have time for station identification. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
This is the WBBM Air Theater, Wrigley Building, Chicago.
Back out at Navin Field in Detroit. Going into the last half of the 10th inning, the second game of the World Series 1934, and the ball game tied up 2-2. Walker taking his preliminary throws with DeLancey. Frankie Bridge waiting down at second base for DeLancey's throw. And Charlie Gehringer is the first man up for the Tigers in the last half of the 10th. Gehringer up. Walker's getting a signal from DeLancey for the first pitch to Gehringer. And just a moment. The umpires have stalled time for the moment. Ejected down there by the priest. We couldn't see just what it was, but anyhow he was pushed out or something. Walker's on the mound. We're all set to go, getting a signal from DeLancey. Charlie Gehringer is the first man up for the Tigers, the left-handed hitter. He's winding up. Here's the pitch, and it's strike one call. Gehringer's been on 3 times out of 4 trips this afternoon. He got on an hour in the first inning, got a single in the third, and he walked in the 7th. On his other appearance at the plate in the 5th inning, he was out on the fly to rock right. Walker's winding up. Here's the next one. Ball high. The count is even up 1-1. This is the last half of the 10th inning. 4 tied, 2-2. Bill Walker's on the mound again, getting a signal from DeLancey for the next one. Starts the old wind up to the pitch. Here it is. Ball 2 wide. 2 balls and 1 strike is the count on Charlie Gehringer. 2 balls and 1 strike. First man for the Tigers in the last half of the 10th inning. And what a ball game this has been. Bill Walker gets his signal from DeLancey. Starts the old wind up again. Here's the next pitch. Ball 3 wide. 3-1 is the count on Gehringer. 3 balls and 1 strike. Walker goes back to the rosin bag. Now he's coming in on the mound. 3-1 is the count. Detroit fans have started clapping their hands, wanting Gehringer to come through. Here's the next pitch. And it's a ground ball. Going down to finish. And he juggles it down. And Gehringer is safe at first. As it's a ground ball down to first. One of those times that just skimmed the ground. He juggled the ball. Fritz. That's the second time this afternoon that Gehringer has been on as a result of an error. That's the third error for the Cardinals this afternoon. Martin, Hallahan, and Frisch now being charged up with error. And that brings up Hank Greenberg. Greenberg is up. Nobody down. Which means that more than likely here he's going to sacrifice to advance Gehringer down to second base, get him in a scoring position. Walker's arms go up. He's getting set for the pitch. Here it is. 0-1. Inside and just a little bit low. This is the last half of the 10th inning. Walker's back on the mound again, getting a signal from DeLancey for the next one. Martin coming in on the grass. And Casey bunts. Here's the next pitch. And it's a drive going out to deep center. One rock is going after it. And deep right center. And he makes the catch for the out. Now here comes the throw into first base. But Gehringer is back over to first. Gehringer would stare down on second base. It looked like the ball was going to go between Orsatti and Rothrock. But Rothrock managed to get over and take care of it. One away. They made that catch in right center. One down. Gehringer still on first base, and that brings up Goose Goslin, the Tigers' left fielder, a left-handed hitter. Goslin has one hit out of 4 trips. The last half of the 10th inning, the ball game still tied up 2-2. Teams are tied up on hits now, having a total of 6 apiece. If I've tabulated them correctly. Walker's on the mound, getting set. Here's the pitch. Ball 1, inside. 1 ball is the count on Goose Goslin. 1 man down, and Charlie Gehringer on first base. Result of an error by Frankie Fritz. So Walker's back on the mound again, getting a signal from DeLancey for the next one. Up goes his arms. He's on the rubber. All set for the pitch. Here it is. And it's strike 1 call. A fast one. Looks like it was right through the center. 1-1 is the count on Goslin. 1 ball and 1 strike. Walker's back on the mound, getting a signal again from DeLancey for the next one. Gehringer on first base, taking the lead off of the bag. Here's the next pitch, and it's a fly ball. Going out to right field. Rothrock is after it. He sends it, and he takes care of it for the second out. Goslin out on a fly to Rothrock in right, making the catch just about 10 feet in from the right field foul line. Down, Gehringer still on first base, and that brings up Rowe, the Tiger shortstop. Rowe got on an error in the 6th inning. In the 4th inning, he doubled, and a little later scored the first run for the Tigers when he raced in home on Fox's double down the left field line. 2 down, Gehringer on first base, Rowe batting. Bill Walker's back on the mound, getting a signal from DeLancey. Steps on the rubber, up goes his arms, getting set for the pitch. Here's the first one. Ball 1, it was low. 1 ball is the count on Rowe. Gehringer still on first base, and 2 men down the last half of the 10th inning. They're tied 2-2. There's another quick throw over to first base, and we came very near losing our scorecard. That have been a predicament. 1 ball is the count on Rowe. Here's the next pitch. Ball 2, it was outside and high. He was tempted. He started to swing, but changed his mind. 2 balls and no strike. Ball's back out to Bill Walker. He's on the rubber again. Up goes the arms, getting set for the pitch. Here's the next one, and he swung at it. Strike. Quick throw down to first base, but Charlie Gehringer's back into the bag. A quick throw by DeLancey. The count is now 2 balls and 1 strike on Rowe, who is batting. Owen on deck. In the last half of the 10th inning, score tied 2-2. Detroit tying it up in the last half of the 9th inning after trailing all the way through the game. Used 2 hits and a sacrifice to tie it up in the last half of the 9th. Here's the next pitch. Strike 2 called. And the count is even up on Rowe, who is batting. He's a switch hitter, batting right-handed against Walker. Walker being a southpaw. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes on Rowe. Gehringer on first base, 2 down. And this is the last half of the 10th inning. Walker comes back in on the mound. He's getting a signal from DeLancey. Gehringer over on first first base. He's not taking a very large lead. Up goes Walker's arms. He's getting set for the pitch. Here it is. And it's a foul ball. Going down 3-second out. Cochrane out on a fly to Rock in right, making the catch just about 10 feet in from the right field foul line. 2 down. Gehringer still on first base, and that brings up Rowe, the Tiger shortstop. Rowe got on an error in the 6th inning. In the 4th inning, he doubled, and a little later scored the first run for the Tigers when he raced in home on Fox's double down the left field line. 2 down, Gehringer on first base, Rowe batting. Bill Walker's back on the mound, getting a signal from DeLancey. Steps on the rubber, up goes his arms, getting set for the pitch. Here's the first one. Ball 1, it was low. 1 ball is the count on Rowe. Gehringer still on first base, and 2 men down the last half of the 10th inning. Score tied 2-2. There's another quick throw over to first base, and we came very near losing our scorecard. That has been a predicament. 1 ball is the count on Rowe. Here's the next pitch. Ball 2, it was outside and high. He was tempted. He started to swing, but changed his mind. 2 balls and no strike. Ball's back out to Bill Walker. He's on the rubber again. Up goes the arms, getting set for the pitch. Here's the next one. And he swung at it. Strike. Quick throw down to first base with Charlie Gehringer's back into the bag. A quick throw by DeLancey. The count is now 2 balls and 1 strike on Rowe, who is batting. Owen on deck. The last half of the 10th inning, score tied 2-2. Before tying it up in the last half of the 9th inning after trailing all the way through the game. Used 2 hits and a sacrifice to tie it up in the last half of the 9th. Here's the next pitch. Strike 2 called. And the count is even up on Rowe, who is batting. He's a switch hitter, batting right-handed against Walker. Walker being a southpaw. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes on Rowe. Gehringer on first base, 2 down. And this is the last half of the 10th inning. Walker comes back in on the mound. He's getting a signal from DeLancey. Gehringer over on first base. He's not taking a very large lead. Up goes Walker's arms. He's getting set for the pitch. Here it is. And it's a foul ball. Going down the left field line. Medwick and Martin are after it. But it's into the stands, down the left field line. And the count remains the same, 2-2. Umpire Clem gives DeLancey a new ball to toss out to Walker. Medwick and Martin were both after that ball, but it was into the stands down the left field line. Umpire Clem is dusting off the plate. 2-2 is the count on Rowe. Still have Gehringer on first base. He was the first man up. Got on an error by Frankie Frisch down at second base. Walker's getting set for the pitch. There's another throw over to first. Gehringer's back to the bag. Plenty to spare on that one. Ball's back into Walker. Takes his position on the mound. Getting set for the delivery. Up goes his arms. And another quick throw over to first base. And it came very near being wild that time. Ball's back into Walker again. 2-2 is the count on Rowe. The man at the plate. Ball set. Here's the pitch. And Gehringer starts down. There goes the throw. And he's safe at second. Gehringer steals second. The pitch was wide for ball 3 at the plate. The count is now 3-2 on Rowe with 2 down. And Gehringer down on second base. Gehringer on second, 2 away. Count is 3-2 on Rowe. Big one left. This is the one that tells the story. This is the last half of the 10th inning. And the ball game is tied up 2-2. Bill Walker on the mound getting set. Here's the pitch. Ball 4 wide. And Rowe walks. And that brings up Owen. Rowe walks. Runners on first and second, 2 down. And Owen is the next hitter for the Tigers. Owen batting, a right-handed hitter. This is the last half of the 10th inning. Allen started in back of Rowe over on first base. Walker taking his position on the mound. Infield is playing deep. They only need 1 man. Getting Getting a signal from DeLancey, all set. Here's the pitch. And it's a drive going out to deep center. Orsatti's going way back. And he makes the catch way out in deep center. On his third out, retiring the side. It looked for a moment like that was good night for the Cardinals on that ball as it traveled fast out to center field. But Orsatti raced way back, took care of it for the third out, retiring the side. The results of the last half of the 10th inning showing no run, no hit, and one error. And the score remains 2-2 going into the first half of the 11th.
The Ford Motor Company hopes that the crowds that are listening in at the showrooms of Ford dealers throughout the United States and Canada, as well as everywhere else, are enjoying this hot ball game.
We're going into the first half of the 11th inning, and Bill Walker, the Cardinal pitcher, will be the first man up. First half of the 11th inning, Walker will be the first man up. This will be Walker's first appearance at the plate since he relieved Hallahan there in the last half of the 9th inning. Try to change scorecards here as we go along. Walker bats right-handed. First man for the Cardinals. First half of the 11th inning. Schoolboy Rowe on the mound, getting a signal from Mickey Cochrane for the first pitch. Martin will be the second hitter of the inning with Rock, the third man. Rowe gets his signal. He's winding up. Here's the first pitch to Walker. Inside, ball one. This is the first half of the 11th inning. Four sides. Score side 2-2. Rowe's winding up. Here's the next one. Ball two inside. 2 balls and no strikes on Bill Walker. Walker steps out of the batter's box for the moment. Now he's back in. Rowe's getting his signal. Winding up. And here's the next pitch. Strike one called right down through the center. 2 balls and 1 strike on Walker. Schoolboy Rowe's on the mound. Starts the old wind up. And here's the next pitch. And it's a foul ball. Going over back to first base. Greenberg is after it, but it's into the stands. And the count is now 2-2 on Walker. Umpire Clem tosses in a new ball. It's tossed out to Rowe. He's standing back at the pitcher's mound, rubbing the gloss off of it. Waiting on Greenberg to get back to the first base position. The count is 2-2 on Bill Walker. First man up for the Cardinals. First half of the 11th inning. Rowe gets his signal from Cochrane. He's winding up. And here's the next pitch. Strike 3. He went down swinging. Walker struck out for the initial out in the first half of the 11th inning, and that brings up Papa Martin. This boy Rowe has been plenty tough since the third inning. Cardinals haven't had a hit off of Rowe since the third inning. They got 3 in that third, and then he commenced the pitch, no hit ball from then on. Papa Martin batting, a right-handed hitter. Martin has 1 hit out of 4 trips so far, a single in the third inning. Rowe's winding up. Here's the initial pitch to Martin. Strike. He swung at it. 1 strike is the count on Martin. 1 strike is the count on Papa Martin. 1 man down, nobody on. First half of the 11th inning with the score tied 2-2. Rowe starts the old wind up for the next pitch. Strike 2. He took another cut. Martin started to swing. He changed his mind, but he's gone around too far. He questioned the umpire on it. 2 strikes is the count. Martin is stepping back into the batter's box now. Rowe's getting a signal from Cochrane. Starts the old wind up for the pitch. Here it is. And it's a drive out to left center for a hit. Going between Goslin. Goslin gets it on the hop, and it's a double for Martin. He slides into second base head first. Goslin's throw was wide anyway. Didn't have a chance to get him on that one. He was in a double for Papa Martin out to left center. Martin on second base. 1 man down, and that brings up Rock, the Cardinal right fielder. 6 hitters, batting left-handed against Schoolboy Rowe. Rock hasn't had any hits so far this afternoon. Had a sacrifice in the third inning, so he's been at the plate 3 official trips without any hits. Rowe's getting set for the pitch. Here's the first one to Rock. Strike 1 call. 1 strike. That was Martin's second hit. He got a single in the third inning. This is the first half of the 11th. Third tied 2-2. 1 man down. Martin on second base and 1 strike on Rock. Here's the next one. Ball low. Mickey Cochrane made a beautiful stop on that one. 1-1 is the count on Rob Rock. Frankie Frisch on deck and Medwick in the hole. First half, the 11th inning. This has been a real ball game all the way through. Rowe's on the mound again, set for the next pitch. Martin taking a big lead off the second base. Here's the pitch. On a foul. Into the stands to the left of the plate. Making the count read 2 strikes and 1 ball. Umpire Clem tosses Rowe a new one. 2 strikes and 1 ball is the count on Rob Rock. 1 man down. Papa Martin down on second base. Result of that double out to left center. Rowe's on the rubber. Gets the signal from Cochrane. Rogel is trying to keep him on down there. Here's the pitch. And the foul tip. Foul tip. Count remains the same. 2 strikes and 1 ball. 2 strikes and 1 ball is the count. 2 strikes and 1 ball is the count on Rock. Papa Martin down on second base. Rowe's on the mound again, getting set. Here's the next one. And he went down swinging. Rock struck out for the second out. Both the outs this inning have been strikeouts. Bill Walker striking out. Rock striking out. And there's 2 down now with Papa Martin down on second base. And that brings up manager Frankie Frisch, the Cardinal second baseman. Another turnaround hitter, batting left-handed against Schoolboy Rowe. Martin's on second base, result of a double out to left center. The first hit off of Schoolboy Rowe since the 3rd inning. Rowe's on the mound, getting set. Here's the pitch. Ball 1. 1 ball is the count on Frankie Frisch. The pitch was wide. Medwick on deck. Ball tossed back to Rowe, taking his position on the mound again. Up goes his arms. He's getting a signal from Cochrane. Here's the next one to Frisch. Strike 1 call. Count is even up. 1-1. 1-1 is the count. With 2 down, Martin on second base, the first half of the 11th inning. Rowe's on the mound again, set for the next one. Here's the next pitch, and it's a ground ball. Going down to Gehringer, great big hop, and he's out at first base. Gehringer to Greenberg for the 3rd out, repairing the side. The results of the first half of the 11th inning show no run, 1 hit, and no error. And the score now as we go into the last half of the 11th inning is still tied up 2-2. 2-2 is the count as we go into the last half of the 11th. On for Detroit, Fox will be the first man up. Right field. Be followed by Schoolboy Rowe, and then Jack, who is now playing center field since Gerald Walker went in the last half of the 9th inning to bat for White and singled out to center field to score Fox with the tying run. Fox has been instrumental in both of the Tiger runs. He drove in Rogel in the 4th inning with a double, the first run, and then scored the second one himself in the 9th inning. There goes the throw down to second base. Fox is the first man up for the Tigers in the last half of the 11th inning. Walker's on the mound, getting a signal from DeLancey for the first pitch to Fox. Winding up. There's the pitch. Strike 1 call. 1 strike is the count on Fox. Right-handed hitter. Walker starts the old wind-up for the next one. Here it is. Low, ball 1. Making the count read 1-1. Fox has 2 hits out of 4 trips in this ball game, a double in the 4th and a single in the 9th. This is his 5th appearance at the plate. 1-1 is the count. Walker's winding up for the next pitch. There it is, and it's a foul. Just to the right of the plate. 2 strikes and 1 ball is the count. Ball went around the Cardinal infield. Martin just tosses it back into Bill Walker. 2 strikes and 1 ball on Fox, first man for the Tigers, the last half of the 11th inning. Toss the ball into DeLancey. Umpire Clem looks at it, pronounces it okay, and it's tossed back out to Bill Walker. Taking his position on the mound, getting a signal from DeLancey. Fox steps into the batter's box, down to 2 strikes and 1 ball. Walker's winding up. Here's the pitch. Ball 2 inside. The count is even up 2-2 on Fox. 2-2 is the count. Walker's getting a signal again. He's winding up for the next one. Here it comes. And it's a foul ball. Going over near the stands down the first baseline. Collins is after it. And he makes the catch just outside of the boxes beyond the Cardinal dugout for the initial out. Fox fouled out to Collins. One down, and that brings up Schoolboy Rowe. And Rowe's getting a big hand as he strolls out to the plate. He's really pitched marvelous baseball since the third inning. He allowed 6 hits in the first 3 innings, and he's only allowed 1 since then. Rowe batting, right-handed hitter. Walker's lining up. Here's the first pitch. Inside and high. Ball 1. 1 ball is the count on Rowe. Walker's on the mound. That's the old wind-up to the next one. Here it comes. Strike call. Count is even up. 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike on Schoolboy Rowe with 1 down, nobody on. The last half of the 11th. Score tied 2-2. Walker gets his sign, starts his wind-up. Here's the next one. And it's a slap down the third base line, but it's foul. Martin comes in past the ball. Foul. The count is now 2 strikes and 1 ball on Rowe. Rowe didn't even toss his bat down. He carried it right down to first with him. Martin is tossing the ball out to Walker. This is the last half of the 11th inning. Score tied 2-2. Rowe stepping into the batter's box. There goes the Detroit fans again. Calling time for a moment while they got a newspaper off of the infield, out in front of DeLancey. The outfield is covered with them out near the fence. 2 strikes and 1 ball as they count. Rowe steps into the batter's box. Walker's lining up for the pitch. Ball 2. The pitch was low. The count is tied up 2-2. 2-2 is the count. Rowe has a batting average of .314 for regular season. 2-2. Walker again takes his position on the mound. And he takes a little bit too much time. Schoolboy Rowe steps back out of the batter's box. He's coming back in. The count is 2-2. Walker gets his signal. He's winding up. 2-2 is the count. Here's the pitch. And he went down swinging. Rowe struck out for the second out. 2 down. And that brings up Goljak, who's now playing center field. Goljak is a right-handed hitter. 2 down. Nobody on. The last half of the 11th inning. DeLancey is getting more new pitches off of the infield. 3-way. Walker's on the mound. Goljak steps into the batter's box. Right-handed hitter. Walker's winding up. Here's the first pitch to Goljak. A foul ball going down the first base line. Collins is off there just outside of the line. And he makes the catch. He came very near losing that one. That wind is terrible out there this afternoon. Some of the boys, you can tell every time a ball goes out there, they'll charge in and then have to charge back, or charge back and then have to charge in. The result, the last half of the 11th inning, show no runs, no hits, and no errors. The Tigers going down in 1-2-3 order, and the score is still tied up 2-2, going into the first half of the 12th inning. The Ford Motor Company, which is sending you these World Series broadcasts, hopes that you are enjoying this ball game. First half of the 12th inning coming up, and the first 3 men for the Cardinals will be Medwick, left fielder, right-handed hitter. Collins will be the second hitter, and DeLancey, the Cardinal catcher, will be the third man. Medwick's the right-handed hitter, Collins the switch hitter, batting left-handed against Rowe, while DeLancey is the left-handed hitter. The Tigers are tossing the ball around the infield. Cochran has made his throw down to second base. The boys are going back to their respective positions, and we're all set to go in the first half of the 12th. The old ball game tied up 2-2. Waiting on Medwick to get out the plate, right-handed hitter. Medwick has had 1 hit in this ball game out of 4 trips. That was a single in the 3rd inning. He struck out twice. All set to go. Rowe is on the mound, getting a signal from Cochrane. Winding up for the first pitch to Medwick. Here it comes. Foul, back against the screen. Strike 1. 1 strike is the count on Medwick. Two balls tossed out to Rowe. He's on the mound again, getting a signal for the next pitch. Here it is. And it's a ground ball going down to Gehringer. Gehringer comes up with it. Big hop. He's out at first. Gehringer to Greenberg for the initial out. One down. And that brings up Rip Collins, the St. Louis first baseman. Switch hitter, running left-handed against Rowe. Collins has one hit out of 4 trips. That was also a single in the third inning. One down. Rowe's on the mound, getting a signal from Mickey Cochrane. Starts the old wind-up. Here's the first pitch. Foul. Up on top of the stands to the left of the plate. One strike is the count on Collins. DeLancey on deck. Rowe's rubbing the gloss off of the new ball that was tossed out to him. Now he's putting his glove back on, stepping up on the mound, gets his signal, winding up for the pitch. Here it comes. Ball outside and high. The count is 1-1 on Collins. With one down, nobody on. First half of the 12th, the ball game tied up 2-2. And what a ball game. Rowe's winding up for the next pitch. Here it is. Ball 2. Another one outside and high. 2 balls and 1 strike on Collins. 2 balls and 1 strike. Rowe gets a signal from Cochrane. He starts the old wind-up again. Here's the next pitch. And it's a drive going out to center field. Jack is going back. Way back. He's under it. And he takes care of it on the second out. Collins is out on a long fly to Jack out in center field. 2 away. And DeLancey is up. DeLancey is up. Cardinal catcher, left-handed hitter. Orsatti on deck. DeLancey has 1 hit out of 4 trips, getting a single in the second inning. 2 down, nobody on. First half of 12. Rowe starts his wind-up. Here's the first pitch to DeLancey. Inside, ball 1. 1 ball is the count on DeLancey. With 2 down, nobody on. Rowe's on the mound again, winding up for the next one. Here's the pitch. Ball outside. 2 balls and no strikes on DeLancey. 2 men down, nobody off. First half 12, stand tied, 2-2. Rowe steps back on the rubber again. There's the next pitch to DeLancey. Strike 1, that was a fast one right down through the middle. 2 balls and 1 strike. DeLancey steps back out of the batter's box for a moment. Now he's back in. Rowe starts his wind-up. Strike 2. He took a healthy cut. 2-2 is the count on DeLancey. 2 down. First half of the 12th inning. The count. Rowe's winding up, and here's the next pitch. Strike 3 call. DeLancey called out on strike. On his third out, returning the side. The result, first half of the 12th inning shows no runs, no hits, and no errors. Cardinals going down in 1-2-3 order. And the way this game is going, it looks like we're liable to be here all night. Half of the 12th coming up. The Tigers at bat. And Mickey Cochrane will be the first hitter with Gehringer on deck and Greenberg in the horse. The hits are 6 for Detroit, 7 for the Cardinals. Tigers haven't made any bobbles this afternoon, while the Redbirds have been charged with 3. 1 by Martin, 1 by Frisch, and 1 by Hallahan. Walker's on the mound, warming up with Davis. Here comes DeLancey out to the plate now. And Mickey Cochrane is the first hitter for the Tigers. Davis makes the throw down to second base. Fish tosses the ball to DeRocher. DeRocher in turn to Martin, who tosses it in to Bill Walker. All set to go. The last half of the 12th inning. Mickey Cochrane batting. Walker steps up on the mound, gets his signal. He's winding up. And here's the first pitch of foul. Down the first baseline, strike 1. 1 strike the count on Mickey Cochrane. New ball is tossed in. Walker's on the mound, getting a signal from DeLancey for the next one. Starts the old line up for the next pitch. 1 strike is the count. Here it is. And it's a ground ball down to DeLancey. DeLancey comes up with it, and he's out at first. DeLancey to Collins for the first out. Cochrane grounded out, DeLancey to Collins. One away, and that brings up Charlie Gehringer, the Tigers' second baseman. Left-handed hitter. Gehringer batting. One down, nobody on. Gehringer's had one hit, and he walked once, but on third twice on errors. Walker's lining up. Here's the first pitch. High, ball one. One ball is the count on Gehringer. Greenberg on deck. We're in the last half of the 12th inning. Score tied 2-2. Walker's on the rubber again. Get your signal. Here's the next one. Ball two. It was high. 2 balls and no strikes. The longest game in World Series, extra inning game, was 14 innings between the Boston American League and the Brooklyn National League. That was October 9th, 1916. Walker's lining up. Here's the next pitch to Gehringer. Ball three, wide. Ball three. 3 balls and no strikes on Gehringer. Walker goes back to the rosin bag. Back in on the mound. 3-0 is the count. One man down, nobody on. He starts to wind up for the pitch. Here it is. Ball 4 inside. And again, Gehringer reaches first base. This time, free transportation as a result of the base on ball. He only has one hit, but he's been over that plenty of times. The 5th time he's reached first base this afternoon. Only failed once. That was in the 5th inning when he flied out to Rock out in right field. Greenberg is up. Greenberg counting. The Tiger first baseman will right-handed hitter. Walker's on the mound. Gehringer on first base. One down. Getting set. Here's the pitch. Rowe in the dirt. Ball one. One ball is the count on Greenberg. Greenberg walked in the 5th inning. Gehringer on first base. One man down. Playing in the last half of the 12th inning. Somebody threw a hot dog out on the playing field. Had to call time for a moment. One ball is the count on Greenberg. Walker's on the mound, getting a signal from DeLancey. All set. Here's the pitch. Ball 2, another low one. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 balls and no strikes on Greenberg. Gehringer on first base. Result of a base on balls. One man down. Mickey Cochrane, the first man up, being thrown out by shortstop DeLancey. And this is the last half of the 12th inning. Score tied 2-2. Walker's back on the mound, getting a signal from DeLancey for the next one. 2 balls and no strikes to the count. He's all set. There's a quick throw over to first base, but Gehringer is back to the bag. No strikes. Another throw over to first base. Collins is tossing the ball back into Walker. Gehringer, in the 10th inning when he got on, got a stolen base. Walker's on the mound, getting set. Here's the pitch. Ball 3, low. 3 balls and no strikes. Now he's really got to put it in there. 3 balls and no strikes on Greenberg. Gehringer on first base, one man down. And it's the last half of the 12th inning. Walker's on the mound set. Here's the pitch. Strike one call. 3-1. 3-1 is the count on Greenberg. Back on the mound again, getting a signal from DeLancey. 3 balls and 1 strike. All set. There's another throw to first base, but Gehringer was close to the bag that time. Just step back with ease. 3 balls and 1 strike. Ball's back into Walker. He takes his position on the mound. Getting set for the delivery. Here's the pitch. All inside and low. Ball 4. Greenberg walks. That puts Gehringer on second base. And Gosselin is up. 2 straight walks by Walker. Gosselin is up. The Tiger left fielder. Left-hand hitter. Gerald on deck. And Owen in the hole. And now it's Alford out at the mound. DeLancey, Martin, Priest, and Collins, and DeLancey all coming in. Didn't last long. They're going back to their respective positions. Runners on first and second, one man down, and Bruce Gosling batting. Gosling batting, left-handed hitter. Walker's on the mound getting set. Here's the pitch. Ball outside and low. One ball is the count. One ball is the count. On Gosling. Gosling has one hit. Out of 5 trips this afternoon. A single his first time up in the second inning. Now Bounder gets first pitch back to second base. Gosling beat it out. One ball is the count on Gosling. Geringer on second base. Greenberg on first. Both on as a result of base on ball. One man down. Walker's on the mound getting set for the pitch.
Gosling came through with a single off the center field, scoring Geringer from second base with the winning run. Just one out there when the winning run was made. And the fans here at Navin Field are really going wild. They've pushed the gates open out in the bleachers in left field. They're all tearing out on the diamond as well as all the fans in the stands. That evens the series up at one game apiece in what was probably one of the greatest World Series games that we've ever had the pleasure of witnessing. This was a real battle all the way down. Anybody's ball game from start to finish. Detroit put on a great burst of speed there in the last half of the ninth when they tied it up after the Cardinals were leading all the way through 2-1 up to that time. The total, as we figure them up here, for the Cardinals show 2 runs, 7 hits, and 3 errors. For Detroit, 3 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. And now we turn you back to Ted Husing.
Thank you very much, Fran Ross. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat Flanagan of WBBM Chicago, who had started this game and lasted until the 9th inning, when the score was tied, suddenly found that his voice had left him due to a case of laryngitis that he suffered last night. And Fran Ross, who did yesterday's ball game in Toto, then came before the microphone and brought you in with the winning run. Let's look at the box score. Hallahan allowed 6 hits in 8 1/3 innings. Walker allowed 1 in 3 innings. Rowe, of course, as you know, 7 in the full game of 12 innings. The Cards were able in their box score to put out 34 of the Tigers instead of 36 as the usual number is supposed to be in 12 innings because there was 1 out when the winning run was scored. There were 16 assists by these Cardinals and 3 errors, 1 by Martin, 1 by Frisch, and 1 by Hallahan. Those assists, incidentally, went mostly to Frisch, who got 6 of them, while Hallahan had 4. The Tigers, in their box score, made 36 putouts, 10 of those assists, and no errors, 5 of the assists being Geringer's at second base. Now, your box score on the other side shows that the Cards were at that 41 times were able to garner 2 runs out of 7 hits and 1 sacrifice hit. The hitting today was confined to Martin with 1 hit, Frisch with 1, Medwick with 1, Collins with 1, DeLancey with 1, and Orsatti with 1. For those Tigers, 42 men were at bat. 3 runs were scored on 7 hits. There was 1 stolen base and 1 sacrifice hit. And the hits were divided very nicely in the following manner. While Walker had 1 as a pinch hitter, tied up the game. Geringer got 1. Gosling got 2, his latter being the winning single that brought the run home. Rowe got 1. Fox got 2. And that's all there was to it. The earned runs were 3 apiece, or rather 2 for the Cards and 3 for the Tigers. 2 base hits were made by Fox, Martin, and Rogel. 3 base hits by Orsatti, no home runs. Rowe did not allow a man to walk down to first base, but Hallahan gave away 4 and Walker 3. Rowe struck out 6, as did Hallahan. Walker struck out 2. Left on the bases for the Cards 4, and for the Tigers 11. And I don't think there's much more to be added to this ball game today, excepting to remind you that it was a ding-dong battle down the stretch all the way. The Tigers having to come from behind, tying it up in the ninth. And then in that electric 12th has just been recorded for you after 2 walks had been sent down the line with Geringer and Greenberg. It was Gosling that batted 1 out there and brought our good friend Geringer home for the Detroit Tigers. So the series is 1-1, ladies and gentlemen. We go tonight to Sportsman's Park at St. Louis to carry on in the World Series. Ted Husing has done the color for you. Fran Flock assisted. The broadcast after it had been started by Pat Flanagan. And don't forget, weather permitting, the Ford Motor Company will bring you another World Series game tomorrow at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. And so now we turn you away from Navin Field, Detroit, to resume in another spot tomorrow. And meanwhile, we say to you, good afternoon all. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
I hope you enjoyed that amazing game as Preacher Rowe goes the entire 12 innings to beat St. Louis 3-2. The Hall of Fame quartet of Cochrane, Gehringer, Greenberg, and Gosselin did the birds in the bottom of the 12th. Over 43,000 fans attended this game, and now you have as well. Now, on to the trivia. This player is the first of only 2 St. Louis Cardinal pitchers to lead the National League in ERA twice. For an extra bonus, who is the other pitcher? This lefty was born in New Orleans, and he was signed in 1939 for $3,500 in a signing bonus. Hard to believe in today's world. Which he would later say he used half of it to buy Harvard Classic book collection. He straddled his ERA titles in 1943 and 1946. He barely qualified in 43 as he only pitched 118 innings, but at the time a pitcher only needed 10 starts, and he had 12. He went off to World War II midway through the season, and he'd returned from the war to start the 1946 season, and he would capture his second ERA title in 46. He holds the distinction of being one of the 2 starters in the first playoff game in Major League history in a best-of-3 series. He also pitched in 2 World Series, the Cardinals winning both, and despite his ERA titles, he never actually won a game. Who am I? Howard Joseph Pollett, better known as Howie. And who is the other Cardinal 2-time ERA champ? I know some of the names you're thinking, and it's none of them. It's Bill Doak. If you're hungry for more, there are thousands of stories on thisdayinbaseball.com. And don't forget to ring the bell to get our updates as soon as they come out. And we appreciate thumbs up and any other feedback. And if you know of other baseball fans who'd like to hear these stories, please share our videos with them. And we'll see you next time on The Rewind.